Alright. Let's see what we'll end up doing for her. I think I should go in order from eldest to youngest. It just makes sense to me. Yeah? Yo, Titan, what's up, man? I got another video? Dang. For real, man? Like that? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go eldest to youngest. So we'll go number 1, number 2, and number 3. Trying to find like something nice for her. Something elegant. Alright, so I have to think of a pose. If I can find something, I'll be. Ooh, okay. I think I'm gonna do like. I'm gonna do a few. Did you think nobody hear that? Hear what? Hear what? Alright, so we're gonna do something like, I don't know. I have no idea. Is the thing lagging? Oh, it's lagging. Let me crash it real fast and try again. Open, open, open. Okay. That noise I made. What noise did I make? I'm confused now. What noise did I make? Come on, come on, come on. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, what? What the? Huh? Oh, there you go. Alright. Move you here. And I'm gonna move this. And then now. There you are. Now it's a little. Oh, still lagging, but it's definitely a bit smoother. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. At the start of the stream? I gotta see. What did I do? Okay. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's hear. Come on. Hurry up. What the heck? uh I guess I didn't. I guess I didn't think anybody would hear that. All right, all right, all right. Let's just forget any of that happened. Okay, you said you got another video. Should I wait for this video? Yeah, we should probably wait until like a little bit. Oh, I gotta send this to the thing. Added on move. All right, there you go. I'm gonna turn on the air. It's like really hot right now. What the heck is Ethan going on about? Anyone ever had that special someone that what? Never said how they felt. So scared. Yes. Nope. Dang. Titan. Like, man, never. Sorry, that was. Sorry, you understand the pain. Okay. I see. Alright. I got it open. Let's put it here. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna do. I guess I'm gonna draw the elder sister. I think I'm gonna just sort of draw a few poses that I have in mind, and then we'll see what ends up happening from there. So how you been though, Titan? Huh? How's your day today, man? Alright, so I'm thinking something like this could be nice. Let's say her head is here, neck. I'm thinking of giving her more an extreme. I'm thinking of giving her more an extreme hourglass shape. So let's push that in a bit more. Like that, right? And her head is right here, right? And I'm gonna do like, this is just, we're just playing around to see. This is one leg, and this is the other leg. The front leg comes out here, just do a nice gesture. The other leg comes out right here. This arm right here, and the other arm out like this. Like that, and then her neck can come back like right here. Right, so this would be like her body's doing like a little twist. Right, this pose, I'm thinking a bit thinner legs as well. Her legs don't need to be too crazy. Alright, so this is one option. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Because I'm trying to understand what I want. Like, I want something very, I don't know how to explain it. A very feminine pose? Or a very ladylike pose? Yeah. We can do something like, let's say her head is here, and then we do like a shoulder line. Once again, I want to get that hourglass to be a bit crazy. And then we can do one leg here, knee here, and then one knee here, and then arm down, up, down, down. Right, we can get like a little something going. Like that, and then neck. Giving her like a longer neck as well. She's a more feminine one out of them all. I'd say. And do like the knee and then the calf come back here. And this one goes this way. This one's nice. This was nice so far. And arm. And then wrist, hand, and then forearm, hand, like right here. I think I would definitely go a little bit bigger on her chest, I think. She might have the second. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I got no clue. Wait, give me a second. It's really hot. I'm about to turn on the air. Bri, what's good, my boy? Give me a second. I'm about to turn on the air. Okay, I'm back. Wow, you're gonna give her an hourglass and make her big on the chest. So sexist. You think so? Okay, so I think I want to do. I mean, I'm liking. Maybe I'll do a third one. I'll do a third one. I mean, I'll just do as many as I want until I find that right pose. You know, that thing that's oozing um femininity, or like a femme fatale type thing. I wouldn't say that. Not a femme fatale. I don't know. I don't know because I like the maybe because wait, is it pen? Oh no, I forgot to charge the pen. I had a feeling I haven't charged it in like a day or something or two. It's my fault. Truly my fault. I was thinking something bottom like this one right here is like looking up at her. This one right here is kind of like she's like floating. Right? I could do like a long dress type thing with her. Yeah, by the way, right, I'm working on this lady right here. Number one, right? These are the sisters, right? This is the eldest sister. This is the middle sister, second eldest, and this is the third, right? So yes, she's the middle child. I mean, she's the first, the eldest. Working on her. I have like a little brief here of like, let's see. I have it written down. I'm gonna go open it up while the pencil's charging. I have like a little brief of who she is, personality type. I know she's like a manipulator type person, right? Like everybody likes her. Like she's like she uses her beauty. Hmm? 1 second, please. Ah, ah. Yeah. Oh, I need water too. Oh my gosh. So unprepared. But yeah, where is she? She is right, she's right, here. And she's right. Wait, what the heck? Oh, she's right here. Alright, so she's the voice, right? She's like the diplomat one, right? Like her diplomacy and manipulation is like is in her is her bag. You know what I mean? It's her bag. Um, and I was thinking like she's charismatic leader, you know, of the sisters. She's a negotiator. You know, she's really that's the type of person that I'm thinking, right? For her, right? And the other sister, I mean, I wouldn't really say that because we're not talking about her right now. I'm going to work on her. I might just do like a couple of like just like I did with Lyra. I'll just do like maybe a couple of views of her today. We're gonna start with her, and then we'll do her, and then her sister, both of them. Okay. Okay. Hopefully. Well, she's probably out right now. Okay. Okay. Now we're good. We're good now. We're good now. Okay, we can continue. I mean, the pencil's still charging. I mean, the pencil's still charged pretty fast. It's gonna charge pretty fast. Hopefully, I can see if I can find some inspiration for a pose here. Something I don't know. Like, who should I look at for inspiration? I don't know. I want something more upright, so I think this one right here is winning right now. This pose right here is winning. This one feels a little more soft, I think, like more bubbly. This one is like she's standing on business, like she's looking down at peasants, you know? Kind of like a boa type feel, I feel. So, I think this one is winning the game, but this one I could see some things in this one. I need something powerful. Ooh, this one right here looks really good. Like she's like, ooh, okay, okay. Let's try this one. Let's try this one. All right, so like I said, this one's in first place. Come on, come on. This one's in first place. So I'm going to make it like in between these two, because this one I like this one too. So I'm thinking we can bend, and like I said, we're gonna push that hourglass like crazy, almost as like crazy as One Piece. I think we're almost there. We're not there yet. She still got some stuff in there, right? And then we'll do like her head up here. Her head like, yeah, like up here. So that spine is going down, so we're gonna get that neck to come down. Shoulder like this, and then this arm coming out, elbow, and then hand like on her chest like this. Like, I don't know, because I feel like I wanted to build a little bit more subtle, you know, a little more subtle. Like this one's a little subtler, you know. You sent me 3 videos. You said you had a video. Now you got 3 videos. Titan, what's going on, my guy? Gosh, this is all by the same person? Oh no, it's not. Since this is the person that I know of, I'm gonna start with this one, I guess. Since I know this person from yesterday, I don't know. I don't know the other two. Well, I don't think so, unless you did show them to me. I just didn't remember their names. Oh, 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 oh. It's like going really slow right now. What's happening? Oh, there you go. It's picking up.
I'm still trapped within this book, and you're still alone. Is that what you want, Raven?
Is it
To
loud?
be alone?
It's loud in my ear.
Hey, hello, how do you do? Shady Durex here. We are, at last, returning to the show about teenagers fighting crime while wearing inappropriate clothing. Cyborg doesn't even wear anything at all. Weirdo. Yes, we're back to Teen Titans. Finally, my Double T fans can feel excited again for a Shady Do-Rags video, while my Avatar fans continue to wonder why they subscribed in the first place. This time we'll be talking about Raven, and guys, I have to admit something. It's not easy for me to say this. In fact, once the words come from my mouth, some of you will never look at me the same way again. But if I'm to continue my career here on YouTube, I have to do it with honesty. Okay, here goes. If you don't recognize these names, to get your fake fan self out of my video. I had no idea who Rachel Roth was before my first Teen Titans video. I didn't even know Raven had an alternate identity. I looked it up just so I could make that opening joke. With this act, I've dishonored myself, my family, and my cow. I just hope that one day you can forgive me. So when it comes to Raven, I had to go down an interesting journey in figuring out exactly what episode I wanted to tackle. Like the other Titans, I wanted to do an episode that took a look at her character specifically and explicitly. Unfortunately, that meant the elimination of pretty much all my favorite episodes with Raven. See, despite her introverted nature, I enjoy Raven more when she's co-piloting an episode, like in Switched or Car Trouble. And all the objectively best episodes like Birthmark are more story-driven than character-focused, requiring way too much context, so they're out as well. I finally decided on Spellbound because if I can't please myself, I can at least please my audience. And of all the Raven episodes, this one seemed to be the most requested from you intellectuals. Or at least, that's what I thought. Turns out I was completely wrong and only a few people asked for this episode, but I had already watched it twice and started writing the script before I realized that was the case, so this is the episode we're sticking with. The episode starts with...
Oh,
Dungeons and Dragons, yeah! That's what I'm talking about. So there's this wizard and he's fighting
the
this
red
purple
one?
and black dragon, and the wizard
The red
shoots
one,
the
red one,
dragon
but still.
and it's all like zap, but the dragon is all like, I'm a dragon, rah, I breathe fire, rah. Wait a second, fire from a black dragon must not be a chromatic. Through narration, we find out that this is the wizard Malchior fighting the evil dragon Rorik. We also find out that it's all a book being read by Miss Roth herself.
Raven, put the pedal to the metal. We gotta go.
Jeez, Beast Boy, calm your green butt down. The alarm just went off. Also, Raven's really fast. Pretty sure she could lag behind for a few seconds. We transition to a part where it's suddenly daytime? How did that happen? The sky was dark in the last scene. Some kids come across a mysterious toy, but when they approach it, they find a nasty surprise.
Maybe pull her hourglass
Nice
a little
try,
tighter.
Show. I've seen enough Fairly Odd Parents and Ben 10 to recognize the Tara Strong scream when I hear one. Oh, did I mention Tara Strong is the voice behind Raven? Because she is. Bubbles, Batgirl, Raven. This woman was all over the superheroine scene, apparently.
Cardiac, you're under arrest.
Ooh, another action scene already. Episode, You Spoil Me.
T-Rex, take down.
What exactly was that supposed to do? A T-Rex does not make a sonic cannon more effective. Cyborg would have been more useful staying at range and providing support. The fight goes on for some time, with Cardiac putting up a decent resistance. However, Raven starts to get that itch when you're eager to go home so you can play that new video game you just got. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
This has gone on long enough. Azarath, Metreon, Zinthos! Can we go now?
The T-Cars always confuse me. Like, it's cool and I get that it's Cyborg's main mode of transportation, but Starfire and Raven are much faster than that thing. If Raven wants to go home so badly, she should just fly there. We see that while the Titans think they've taken care of Cardiac for good, he's not gonna be gone for long. See, this is why crime scenes are a thing. If the police were there bagging all the evidence, this
I don't
probably
know
would
which one
have
I'm
gone better.
feeling more.
Back at the tower, it's night.
I'm still liking this one more.
How?
Yeah.
The sky was dark when the Titans left. It was day when they arrived at the playground, and now it's night? Raven really should have just flown, since it apparently took 10 hours to drive there and 10 hours to drive back. Raven attempts to continue reading her book, but she gets constantly interrupted.
Hey, when we got home, you kind of ran to your room and locked the door. Anything you want to talk about?
No.
Good job, Robin. That's a great thing to do as a friend as well as a leader.
I have journeyed to the Mall of Shopping and discovered the joy of earthly hair ornaments. Do you wish to? No.
Didn't y'all just get home? When did you have time to do that, Starred?
Dude, open up.
What? Stank ball! Everybody loves a good game of stank ball.
And we need a referee to play the lightning round.
No.
Raven, come
Now hold up. Raven didn't handle that encounter the best, but you
A thing
are
for
way out
a
of line.
little
You snap
original
too,
Raven had a
Franklin.
thing for Robin.
Okay, let me calm down. What Beast Boy just did is something that annoys me to no end. Raven isn't bothering anyone, but because she's not acting in a way he approves of, he lashes out. As someone who's introverted, this is something I've experienced a lot in our extroverted-driven society. You want to be left alone, but people think it's wrong for you to feel that way. I'd be more forgiving of Beast Boy if this came from a place of concern, but he specifically said what he said in an attempt to hurt Raven. Now, to be fair, when I look at things from Beast Boy's perspective, I can somewhat understand his anger. Raven was aggressive to him, and even if she wasn't, it can be very frustrating when someone you care about doesn't want to spend time with you. It makes it feel like you're putting effort into the relationship, but they aren't. I think what would have helped this moment is if all of this didn't take place in less than a few minutes. Instead of the cardiac scene, which honestly could have been cut from the episode, have an extended scene of Beast Boy asking Raven to do different things throughout the day. It still wouldn't justify him blowing up at her, but it would make his frustration a lot more understandable because by the end of the day, his patience would have gotten thin with her constant rejections.
I'm not
Look at him
creepy,
giving advice.
just different.
Huh?
I'm not creepy. I'm just different.
Okay, I know this is gonna seem like some serious nitpicking, but this is actually a really big problem with the episode, so hear me out. In storytelling, you follow a character who has a goal and an obstacle. In this particular episode,
Oh, so he's
far,
he
we've
knows
been
what he's
following
talking
Raven.
about.
Her goal is to read her book, and her obstacles have been things interrupting her. We, as audience members, are focused on that. What the episode tries to do in less than 30 seconds is shift our focus from the book to Raven feeling like an outcast. Now, there's nothing wrong with shifting the focus of the story, but there needs to be a logical flow to it. One mean comment from Beast Boy isn't enough to overshadow the goal that was present for most of the episode so far. And this is important
Yeah, I don't like this
because
one
going
either.
forward,
I'm
Raven
still leaning
finishing the
towards
book
this one.
becomes irrelevant,
I
and
don't
instead,
know.
we need to care about her feeling like an outcast since it's the major focus of the episode.
Ah,
Because of Beast Boy's comment, Raven begins to lament about how alone she feels.
I wish there was someone around here who understood that. Someone more like me.
There is. Ow.
Did you just...
Speak? I did. And then you dropped me on my spine.
Wait, the book is alive and it can feel things? I can only wonder why it waited until now to let Raven know this. The book explains that he is Malchior of Null, the wizard in Raven's story who defeated Rorik. Apparently, Rorik's last action was to trap Malchior within the book using a curse. Malchior, however, thinks Raven can get him out of there.
And I've been waiting for someone to find me ever since. Raven, I've been waiting for you.
Oh, don't mind me, just rolling some dice. Raven isn't able to break the curse on the book, but is delighted to hear that Malchior is content with just talking.
Stankball? You're joking.
They wanted me to referee.
Smashing.
Why are you telling him this? He was there.
And this beast boy sounds like an absolute genius.
That's funny. You're funny.
No, Daria is funny.
Nobody told me about any tests.
Don't worry. It's a psychological test. You're automatically exempt.
so loud.
Wednesday is funny.
I see you finally made a friend. Even if it is a plant.
I go for quality over quantity.
Malchior attempted to be funny, but his commentary only had the bare minimum of wit. The reason you think it's funny, Raven, is because it reinforced your emotional state. Doing that activated some positive chemicals in your brain, which you mistook for humor since that was the attempt trying to be made.
And you're the best thing that's happened to me in 1,000 years.
Yo, Raven, maybe you should tell him about that whole Trigon thing.
Then you don't think I'm creepy?
Raven, your motif is the goth aesthetic. The whole point of that is to be creepy. You know, show appreciation for the beauty in things society at large fails to see.
You are dark, and darkness is often misunderstood. But I feel like I understand.
You sent me some
In
images?
case you're not picking up
Let's
on
see.
the context clues, Raven seems to have finally found someone who can relate to her, and that is bringing her some inner peace.
Ooh.
The next day, Beast Boy approaches Raven's door again.
It's like almost noon and you haven't come out of your room.
Oh, I like this one right here.
So, just in case you're mad, sorry I called you creepy last night.
I mean, the problem wasn't you calling her creepy. She is creepy. The problem was you trying to make her feel bad about herself just because she didn't want to participate in your game. Regardless, the apology is genuine, and I can't stay mad at Beast Boy. I mean, if I did, it would make the next Teen Titans video incredibly awkward. The important thing here is that Beast Boy, thinking that Raven might be hurt in some way, is trying to make her feel better. Raven dismisses Beast Boy, assuring him that she's fine, but he doesn't leave before gathering some hints that someone else is in that room. Later, we see Raven attempting to perform some magic using Malchior's instructions.
I've never even heard of this spell. Where did you learn it?
It's in the Galleon Scrolls.
I have an
You've read
idea.
the Galleon Scrolls?
Fun fact about the Galleon Scrolls, I have no idea what they are.
There's just one more ingredient. A lock of hair from a beautiful girl.
Beautiful?
No scripted laughing. Keep that cringe out. Okay, well, I guess I have to tell you guys that it's hilarious Raven is surprised to find herself attractive. From what I've seen, people are thirstier for this character more than any other in this show, and that's saying something with Starfire on the team. It's not so surprising since the show was made in the 2000s, a time in the US where goth aesthetic was really popular. Shoot, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a millennial who started that whole goth girlfriend meme. Raven completes the spell, allowing Malchior to take on a mobile form. How many of you had a crush on this guy? It's paper! The man is walking paper! And yet I guarantee a lot of you fell for his charm. The spell was able to get Malchior out of the book, but not break the curse entirely. Raven, having just eaten a bunch of pretzels, is dedicated to helping Malchior.
I must teach you everything I know.
This pose kind of. I mean, I feel like this one is still more.
Wait a minute. If you can cast spells, why can't you just break the curse yourself? Maybe he's like a dedicated caster. All his spells are book-related or something. Thankfully for Malchior, Raven is an extremely fast reader and talented spellcaster. She quickly nails down everything she's being taught in the span of a week.
You know, there is a better way.
Why the crap didn't you start with that? One thing to note is that as time goes on, Raven's cloak gets lighter in color. I believe the term you kids use today is her drip. There's a running motif in the show where whenever Raven gets a boost in power, her cloak becomes white. I have no idea why. A week later, Raven emerges from her room looking extremely pleased. See, this is what happens when you let an introvert recharge their social batteries. Cyborg and Robin do their best to be supportive without being overbearing. Starfire, however, overwhelmingly enjoys her friend's happiness and thus can't contain her excitement.
I am unable to wait. Beast Boy has told us much about the Malchior and how he remains trapped within a book.
Good gravy, girl. If Loose Lips really did sink ships, wait, no, I already used that joke. Turns out Beast
May,
Boy
how's it
is
going?
spying on Raven and her new bestest buddy while also informing the others.
Funny.
I'm trying to find a pose. I'm working on a pose right now for the eldest sister right here.
Actually, a rat is someone
And
who works on the inside and reports it. Beast Boy is
I don't
more of a
know.
snitch or a spy. He just saw what happened.
Titans, move!
Robin, that was cute how you pretended that that thing was a computer. The Titans head out and find Cardiac once again kidnapping children. Unfortunately, this time he manages to actually succeed at getting one. With a hostage at stake, our heroes are forced to tone down the violence. Raven, however, decides now would be a good time to test some of her newfound skills.
Raven, careful! The girl!
Raven, stop!
I can't!
oh, he hit her with a
What
bull.
is wrong with you?
Oh no, with a ram.
It's dark magic. You've been teaching me dark magic.
Okay, two concerns. One, I thought Raven was already using dark magic. She was born from an extremely powerful demon, and her magic is literally dark. It's okay, I'm black, I can say that. The second concern is, how is Raven only just now realizing this? She's been learning and casting new spells all week.
Is it dark, or is it simply misunderstood? Like you. There are those who fear power, so they call it dark.
Obvious manipulation, but he's got a point. The show never explains the difference between dark magic and not dark magic. All we saw was Raven lose control, which might not have been the magic's fault.
Without these spells, we can never truly be together.
Malchior teaches Raven the final spell to release him from his curse. Once she performs it, however...
You changed it.
Yep, turns out Malchior rolled an insanely high deception on Raven and is in fact an evil dragon.
He lied. And I gave him what he wanted.
Alright, one last fight scene. The Titans do what they do best and jump into action. sure Birdarangs do that. Despite her new powers and with the help of her friends, Raven isn't able to conquer Malchior.
I got what I wanted, and I don't need you anymore.
It's not over.
I taught you everything you know.
You taught me spells, but I just learned a curse.
Why the crap would you let her go? You had her in your hands. So Raven defeats Malchior and locks him in the book once again. Later, we see Beast Boy knocking on Raven's door for a third time.
Look, I'm sorry.
You're not the one who...
No, I'm sorry that he broke your heart.
Aw. I mean, good job, Beast Boy, comforting your friend. Raven laments that the pain she feels comes from losing the only person who made her feel like she wasn't alone in the world. Beast Boy, however, lets Raven in on the truth she's unaware of.
You think you're alone, Raven, but you're not.
And so Raven finally opens the door for Beast Boy. Metaphors are fun. The episode ends with Raven deciding to join in on a game of Stinkball, which I kinda get, but also think could have been done better. I understand that this is Raven finally branching out to people who want to spend time with her, but I think the "you are not alone" message would come across better if they offered to do something she liked. If I could, I'd rewrite this ending with the Titans wanting to start a book club, since they know Raven likes to read and they realize she's been feeling isolated. Raven would then say she's had enough of books for a while and that maybe they should try a game of Stinkball instead. This would keep the tone of Raven branching out, but also display that all in all, the activity doesn't matter as much as having people who care about you to do it with. And that was Spellbound. An interesting journey to go on, albeit it does have some rocky moments to it. The episode had plenty of action to satisfy a superhero fan, but still felt the need to cram in more. The first cardiac fight didn't need to happen, and should have been replaced with more character moments for Raven and Beast Boy. That being said, I do like this episode, specifically because I love the lesson being taught here. Feeling like an outcast is, ironically, an almost universal feeling. Most people at some point in their life, usually in their teens, will feel like they don't belong because of how different they are from those around them. It's an invigorating feeling when you stumble across those who share your views of the world and can relate to you
actually a
in
good
ways
video.
others can't. But, as this episode demonstrates, someone who understands your quirks isn't what makes a good friend.
Okay.
If you base your
I think I like
relationship solely
this
on
one
that,
now
you could
more.
easily wind up
So this one's
valuing the
number
wrong
1,
person,
2,
one who will do your life more harm than
3.
good. Despite his deception, Malchior did have a lot in common with
I
Raven.
don't know.
They're both dark and powerful entities with an appreciation for the arcane arts. But ultimately, they were incompatible. Obviously, there's the whole Malchior being evil and lying thing, but also, as much as Malchior could relate to Raven, he didn't actually care about her. Yet notice how the other Titans treated Raven throughout the episode. They invited her out, celebrated her happiness, and did what they could to cheer her up when she was feeling down. The Titans don't necessarily understand Raven, but they do care about her. All those interruptions were just them wanting to spend time with a person they like being around. Even Beast Boy's annoying outburst came from a frustration of not being able to hang out with Raven. By the way, I want to point out something that I think the show did by complete accident. In Western civilization, specifically in America, every youth culture of the past few decades has had a rebelling subculture that becomes massively popular. These subcultures start out as just individuals with a different outlook on life, but because they're so radically extreme from what is currently the cultural norm, they become the default outcast group, a place where people flock to because they feel they don't fit in any other subculture. The 80s had punks, the current times have the LGBT
Teen
community,
Titans
but
Raven.
back in the 2000s,
Zero, what's...
we
Dang,
had
Zero, you just
punks.
popped up?
Now obviously,
What's good,
us
man?
millennials didn't invent this aesthetic, but we definitely perfected it. I find it appropriate that Raven, the goth girl of the group in a show that came out in the 2000s, was used to teach the lesson the episode presented, because I feel that teens and young adults that fall into the default outcast groups are the ones that need to hear it the most. Like I said, I don't think the show did this on purpose, since Raven is an authentic goth, unlike some 2000 cartoon character posers, but I do think it's a nice touch.
Oh, he don't like her.
Intended. Getting back to the point, however, I'm not going to dismiss how good it feels to connect with someone who clicks with you on a personal level. But it's important to understand the value of those who care about you, even if they don't necessarily understand you. When those people come knocking on your door, if you let them in, you might just find that you're not as alone as you think you are. This has been Shady Durags. So long. Farewell. Avi to say. Goodbye.
What is Avidesi? I mean, I know what it means because it has to mean goodbye, but like, in what language? In what language? I don't know which one, bro. I think I'm still leaning towards the first one. How many I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'm gonna go 2 more, and then we'll see. He did a whole video on why he don't like her. Dang. Oh, dang, Titan. This is a short video. It's 53 seconds. 52 seconds. Let's see.
Huh?
Eduardo.
Kylie, man, is he gonna tick to you for taking that beacon thing?
Are you happy to see me, Eduardo?
Oh.
Sure.
Because I'm really happy to see you. From the first time I saw you in the lecture hall, I felt an attraction. Did you feel it too?
Well, I don't know, sort of. I mean, you could stand to put on a couple of pounds.
A good-looking guy like you is really hard to resist. Kiss me, Eduardo. I want you to.
What?
Back off, Eduardo! Why? She's legal. She's a ghost.
What the heck? Man, watch me get copyrighted for that, bro. What the heck? Oh, it just says that. Oh, okay. Alright, and then the third and final one. I went backwards.
This game is terrible. Spider-Man, Web of Shadows.
I remember
If
this
you've never
game.
heard of this game before, I can't blame you. It got delisted, but this was one of the many attempts at a Spider-Man game from the Activision era. This timeline is filled with ups and downs, mostly downs. Sometimes you'd walk away with a legendary pull like Shattered Dimensions, and other times
Shattered
you'd
Dimensions
be
was
amazed
good
at
too.
Spider-Man 2. Web of Shadows, that is a hell of a name, bro. I hate saying it. This game was something in the middle. Some parts were really good, and by some parts I mean
Your comment?
bad. Let's be real, it is the combat that keeps this game up
Beta
and running
Lotus
to
is
this day.
inspired
All
by
of the nostalgia, the love for this game is from the combat. I still love this
Oh,
game to
Merida
death.
from
When
Brave,
Arkham wasn't there,
Rebecca from
these three
Cyberpunk,
held it down.
Edge
But
Runners,
as much as I love
Ruffy
this
from
game,
Black
it
Lagoon,
does not
and
make any sense. The
a
story
few
is
cowboy
damn non-existent.
Bebop
Characters
characters.
will just show up and leave constantly.
How the heck? I think you gotta narrow it down. You gotta narrow it down, Zura. That is too many characters. You can base her off of a cool, nice, solid 3 to 5 characters. This man said a few Cowboy Bebop, so I'm guessing at least 3 or 4. A few, and you got Merida, Cyberpunk. Like, in what way are they inspired? Like, in their design? If it was design, then sure, but like what? Wait, how many do I have? I have 8. Wait, let me just number them so it's easier. So number one. Wait, number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. And number 8. Personality? Okay. So we got... Wait. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we got that. I need 2 more. And then we'll decide. But I'm still liking this one the most, to be honest with you. This one is pretty good too. No lie. I feel like this one maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Let's work on number 8. I mean number 9. Oh. Let's continue.
main villain of the game, the catalyst for everything that happens. He's there in the beginning for a minute, then he leaves. We see him in the middle for a minute, then he leaves. And do you know
Give me
where
a
we
sec.
see him next? In the final
I'm gonna have to refresh this video because for some reason it's like glitching, and I don't like that because that's distracting. Refresh. What the heck? That was a quick time event?
Spider-Man Web of Shadows. If you've never heard of this game before, I can't blame you. It got delisted, but this is one of the many attempts at a Spider-Man game from the Activision era. This timeline is filled with ups and downs, mostly downs. Sometimes you'd walk away with a legendary pull like Shattered Dimensions, and other times you'd get the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh, Amazing
Web of
Spider-Man 2 I didn't like.
That is a hell of a name, bro. I hate saying it.
I didn't even
This
like
game was
Amazing
something
Spider-Man 1 that
some
much,
parts were
really.
really good, and by some parts I mean the combat. Let's be real, it is the combat that keeps this game up and running to this day. All of the nostalgia, the love for this game is from the combat. I still love this game to death. When Arkham wasn't there, these three held it down. But as much as I like this game, it does not make any sense. The story is damn near non-existent. Characters will just show up and leave constantly. Specifically Venom, who is the main villain of the game, the catalyst for everything that happens.
I mean,
He's
is
there
it
in the beginning
me?
for a minute, then he leaves. We see him in the middle for a minute, then he leaves. And do you know when we see him next? In the final 10 minutes of the game. It's like they forgot he was in the game and then put him in there because we need a final boss.
Wait a minute.
The mission structure is ridiculously repetitive. It mostly boils down to
Is it me that is glitching so much?
enemies, and they just repeat that for the entire game. It's really just there at the runtime. The game is really 3 hours with another 4 hours of fluff.
Yeah, I think it is.
So much other stuff going on, like the optimization. The game runs like garbage. It doesn't want to exist. And to top it all off, when this game drops,
Hold up. This is throwing me off right now. I'm about to just press a random video. You think it's both? Yeah, I wanna press a random video just to see if it is doing that. Because he says that the game does lag. Huh. My fault. I just decided to go get some water at the time. But yeah, you said the video said it's lag. I mean, he said it lags too. Okay, we're just gonna risk it. Whoa, hold up. I think this video lags so much it's lagging me. Hold on, let me press. I'm gonna press a different video to see. Okay, so The worst invincible. What? Okay. I don't want to do that because I might spoil some of you guys who watch that show. Okay, what is this? Why streamers services fall off? Okay, let's see. If this lags too, then it has to be me.
Brother, what happened to streaming services? This fall off has to be one for the history books, because the way these things are an absolute joke right now is so sad. Can you believe there was a point where streaming movies and TV shows online was the best way to watch like anything? Now there's thousands of them, they keep upping the prices, and to really have a good selection of both movies and TV shows, you almost have to have a minimum of 3 of them. And then you're probably not even going to use them after you buy them, meaning you'll forget to cancel them, and slowly that
I mean, this one doesn't lag too much.
will turn into hundreds of dollars in time. Personally,
Because I feel like his
love watching
audio is
TV
lagging
shows.
too.
Hell, I love video games too, and there are streaming services for that. There's no end to it, brother. They're everywhere. But there are all of these options to watch whatever I want. But most of the time, I find myself rewatching The Walking Dead on Netflix for the 1000th time. But why? Check me out. Netflix has been around maybe longer than you think. They've been around the sun about 26 times now. So all the way
Oh
back
my
in
gosh, they have to show
1997,
that.
I don't know the details, but I'm
Oh, never mind.
assuming some
It's
guys
lagging.
got together and we're like, damn, I am not trying to walk to Blockbuster. What if we could just order it like pizza? Wow. This internet stuff sure is nifty. What if we could watch Brandon Lee's The Crow on here? That'd be a damn flicks on the net. And then Netflix spent a long time breathing down Blockbuster's neck. It's that time, it's 1997, the years are going by, and the internet is only getting bigger and bigger by the year. And who better to go into the movie rental slash streaming service business with than Blockbuster? If you're really young, basically Blockbuster was like Netflix but outside. People would go to Blockbuster or any other rental place. They had movies and video games. Usually had to return them about 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, it's lagging now like crazy. Alright guys, I'm gonna do something. It just might like glitch out the stream, but don't worry. Hopefully it works. Okay, hopefully it works.
Or bear that late fee, but as hard as Netflix tried, they could not get into business with them brothers, which was very bad on Blockbuster's end because at some point Netflix finds their footing and starts blowing up. Because surprise, surprise, when you give people a stable app that allows them to watch a crazy selection of movies on devices that they already own for a little $8 a month, why the hell would they want to rent movies or risk late fees? Matter of fact, you could rent movies from Netflix, and guess what? No late fees. They were like, keep it as long as you want. I'm talking, bro. Netflix was available on PC, the new iPhone, Xbox, PlayStation, the damn Wii. People were buying Wiis just to have them, and now you're telling them that they can watch The Dark Knight on it. So while Blockbuster phased out, Netflix was on the come up crazy. When I say they had everything on Netflix, I mean at one point, I mean everything. You could watch Freddy vs. Jason, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and the live-action Alvin and Chipmunks movie all in one day on the same platform. Who's really doing it like that? For $8 a month, remember? $8, only $8. To watch Freddy vs. Jason today, HBO Max. Zack and Cody, that's Disney Plus. The Chipmunks movie is probably free on Tubi or something. But you get the point, right? You could have a field day with Netflix. They had horror movies, Disney movies, DC movies, comedy movies, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, MTV. They used to have Jake the American Dragon. That's how crazy Netflix was going back in the day, bro. You don't know what that show is? Get on my channel, bro. Matter of fact, security, get them out of here. The only
Alright, might be working, but give me a second.
who's really doing it like that for $8 a month? Remember, $8, only $8
Okay.
to watch Freddy.
Hopefully, it doesn't glitch again.
Zack and Cody, that's Disney Plus. The Chipmunks movie is probably free on Tubi or something. But you get the point, right? You could have a field day with Netflix. They had horror movies, Disney movies, DC movies, comedy movies, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, MTV. They used to have Jake the American Dragon.
American
That's how
Dragon.
crazy Netflix was going back in the day, bro. You don't know what that
He's
show
the
is? You don't
American
watch it, bro.
Dragon.
Matter of fact, security, get him out of here. The only thing that would stop you from watching something on Netflix would be, I don't know. It's not out
It's
yet,
glitching
or
again, bro.
It's only available physically. Cool. Just order it 2 days in advance. Have the movie.
Yeah,
ready for you
I
for
have
the
no
weekend.
idea what's
So
happening.
What happened?
Is the stream glitching though?
Where did it all go wrong? Why is Netflix yuck today? I mean, they've been having some good movies on there lately, bro. I've been seeing some good TV shows and stuff on there. They've been on a little bit of a come up on it lately, but for a while there, bro, it was.
Is the stream lagging for you guys?
Why are they losing billions? Everyone else saw how much money Netflix was making and foolishly tried to replicate that success for themselves, not even realizing that the reason Netflix was so successful in the first place is because we are all here in this one place. So a lot of companies started pulling their shows and their movies off and like making their own streaming service platforms.
You don't think so?
Some of them were better off on Netflix, so they stayed, right? Like, I don't know if you noticed, but I think Netflix is the reason that Breaking Bad did not get canceled. The show was doing kind of rocky at first, I think, but around the 3rd season or so, they were on Netflix, and more people started watching it on Netflix, and all of a sudden, the show just boosted it in popularity all over the place, and it was just everywhere. Everybody loved it all of a sudden. You can fact check me on that, I'm not really sure. Somebody saved Breaking Bad, I know that, and I think the same is for The Office, too. Which is really insane. Like, people weren't watching these shows. Y'all some ops. Bro, Earth is just full of... Well, I wasn't watching them either, so I'm part of the problem. I'm not even gonna say nothing like that. But with all the other companies leaving Netflix, right? Netflix was like, leaving them to try new things, like Netflix originals. When I first heard that Netflix was gonna be making their own TV shows and movies, I was like, bro, they finna make garbage. Think about all the sidewalks you probably walked on in your life. How many hours, days you've spent on sidewalks. There's all that experience with sidewalks, meaning you know how to build a sidewalk. You think, okay, I'll just get some wet concrete and just pour it all over the place. No, bro, no. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. You gotta get permits. You gotta get licenses. You're not that guy. And Netflix wasn't either, bro. They started churning out. Oh no, bro. Remember Bright? To this very day.
Oh my
bro,
gosh, that
I don't
movie
hear
was
nobody
trash.
talking about. Oh man, I can't wait to see what the new Netflix originals got cooking up. I can't wait. You never ever hear that. Stranger Things might be the only major hit that Netflix originals has, and I know they are stressed out about that show ending. Netflix might really mess around and do something stupid like drop 2 episodes per month until it ends. Then they're gonna call it volumes. But then when Netflix does have a good show, like The Brother's Son, they cancel it immediately after 1 season, and they have a long track record of doing this. The Brother's Son? Oh no. Big Mouth spinoff, but that's pretty much what Netflix has been on recently, bro. They just been they wilding, but they are all reliable, bro. So a lot of people still have an account. But let's take a look at one of the other streaming services real quick, like Hulu, Netflix, but green. See, Netflix was always more of a movie platform. Like they had a lot of shows, but Hulu, they had them shows on them, bro. They really did. They had Danny Phantom. That was peak right there. But Hulu today is an absolute cesspool. I would not recommend it.
Isn't Hulu and Disney Plus
One
together?
of my biggest reasons for making this video is to vent about one of my biggest frustrations with Hulu. Has the most egregious ads known to man. The damn Grubhub ad. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know if I'm insane, but I think Hulu purposefully makes their ads louder than the actual show to get you to upgrade to the $15 a month plan with no ads. Nah, bro, I know it's what they do because the amount of times that I've been binging Law and Order or something and been absolutely blasted by bombastic sound waves when an ad pops up. It's happened way too many times to count. It's happened on the TV, on my computer, and that's about it. I don't really have it anywhere else. But still, I'd be in pain. And then you know what else they do? They be inflating the catalog. AKA, whenever I see something on there that actually looks worth watching, I get met with the, oh, please buy the Showtime add-on for a mere $5 extra a month. What? If I wanted to see stars, I would play Resident Evil 3. Hulu is absolute garbage. I mean, they got Family Guy, but you know who owns Hulu? Disney.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody actually use Disney Plus? I remember when it came out, everybody was super excited. There were memes and everything, but ever since that first burst, it's been silent. They have all Disney stuff. That's like their biggest benefit, but it might be their biggest problem. You know, Pixar movies, Marvel movies, Star Wars. On paper, this should be one of the hottest services out there. This should be a slam dunk, a need to have. I gotta have it. But Disney has been having a terrible run over these last few years, bro. Marvel
These
so
two are
bad.
the best.
Hugh Jackman in the yellow and slide RDJ $1 billion check. Star Wars fans are just unresponsive now, bro. They've been beat, battered, bruised. R.I.P. them. And Pixar is about to go on a sequel marathon. They needed that Inside Out money bad. We finna be following Riley to the grave, bro. Mark my words. So for now, it seems like the only people who would be
Have any of you guys seen Inside Out too?
would be people who want to watch older movies. I'm thinking anything like before 2010. Oh wait, Frozen came out in like 2014. Okay, before 2014. But like I said, all of these things have the same vibe to them, especially after being merged with Disney, because you know Star Wars and got bought, and then Marvel got bought. If you've seen one Marvel movie, you've seen like 80% of them. You know exactly what you're getting when you watch Disney or Star Wars. I think the best streaming services have range. Once you're done watching what you want to watch on Disney Plus, there's really no reason to keep going unless you really like Disney stuff. I know it's the same with other streaming services, but for Disney, it's like, it's even harsher. Is it not? It goes double, which must be true because bro, Disney's losing billions too. They losing billions too. Damn shame. That's how y'all gonna do Nemo, bro?
Which one of these you guys like the most?
Bro. Crazy.
One,
crazy
2, 3.
Tubi. All this talk about the
Oh,
loss of
4,
bread
2.
and failed originals.
Which one do you like more?
Has gotta
1,
be the
2,
biggest
3, 4.
Anemone. It's strange is what it is. Now I know they make some straight up weird movies. Movies that look like they were recorded on iPhone in the spur of the moment. But right now, you can hop on Tubi and have a
5.
decent catalog of movies and shows.
Oh,
for
dang.
free. You can watch
I mean, I don't
Mask,
know, bro.
Lost Boys, Deep Blue Sea, the Scooby-Doo movie, Child's Play, It, the 2017 version. What is happening at Tubi that they're allowed to have all of this? The only issue is the ads, and you have to sign up for an account to save your spot if you leave, but the ads are pretty minimal.
What is your favorite,
brand?
Brian?
Button exists. Tubi has absolutely no reason to be going this hard. They put real deal movies on there, classics. And just a few years ago, Tubi was just another dumping site for obscure movies. And Tubi is not the only one either. There are a lot of free sites with bangers on them. In fact, the one you're on right now is a prime example. You can go to the free movie tab on YouTube right now and watch Mean Girls. We live in a real different time, bro. Like, you can just watch Peak right now. Yes, I watch Mean Girls. I
Peak?
love Mean Girls.
Mean Girls,
right now.
the first one,
I've not seen
isn't
the
like a
remake.
terrible movie, but
I'm
Peak?
I'm good. I'm straight off that, bro. They y'all got it. Who the hell is using Paramount Plus? Show of hands.
I was.
Why do they keep putting all the South Park specials on Paramount Plus? Why? They're messing everything up. They're messing up the motion. I know most streaming services are pointless, but Paramount Plus is just ill. They're keeping the South Park specials hostage, and I look at their other catalog to justify to myself of getting this service, but what do I get on there and see? The Teen Wolf movie, bro. Get out of here. Max. For some reason, they renamed HBO Max, which used to be
was
HBO now, to just Max.
heat.
What does that even mean? If you could go by just anything, call it HBO. Okay, alright. Which one would you assume has Game of Thrones? HBO or Max? Bro, this right here is that Life is Strange glaze.
Oh, yeah, they did
Basically,
do
HBO
that.
Max is one of the big three of streaming services. That being Netflix, Disney Plus, and HBO. I just made that up. Now they have a crazy good selection over there. Cartoon Network, Friends, Game of Thrones. They took over the Garden Wall off. Yeah, that's minus 15 billion points right there. Y'all don't know nothing about that over the Garden Wall, bro. This is too real for you. You're blind to it. Nah, me, I see the vision. But they have all of those and a mix of just really good movies and TV shows. But what really gives them an edge in my eyes is the Studio Ghibli movies. This is a massive dub right here, bro. They have Ponyo, Spirited Away, Howl's
Ponyo
Moving Castle.
will
Nobody
always
ever
have a
has
place
that.
in my heart,
Netflix
man.
used to, but that was only back in the early 2010s, back when Netflix was everything. But that damn $15 a month for no ads. Oh, I'm sorry, $15.99 now. Okay. Yo, wildin', bro. You might say just go no ads, but bro, listen, a lot of these streaming services go for the $15 mark, but I find it crazy that I'm paying any money at all and still seeing ads. Isn't that the whole point?
Yeah.
Isn't that why Netflix was so successful to begin with?
Exactly.
When you wanted cable, you had to get some guy to come over to your house and set up a box for a day. Bro would be there from sun up to sundown,
Yep.
setting up one cable box, putting a mess of wires all around the house. Then you had to wait for your show or your movie to come on. Then in the middle of it, you had to wait 5 minutes of ads every other scene on your screen, fighting tooth and nail to sell you.
You know what's so crazy?
Barbie's newest dream
This is going to
house.
sound insane, right? But like, there was a point, like when the whole Netflix, everything was like super. We never got ads anymore, right? You didn't have to pay for them. This was back in the day in the Netflix heyday, right? I remember I was watching one of my favorite shows because it used to come on Netflix every like month or something. They'll have like the season or something. I can't remember. Like every certain amount of time, they'll have like a new batch, right? And I would at a certain point in time wish there was commercials. So I edited like a episode, and I added commercials in the commercial breaks. Like when they have like the TV shows, it will fade to black, That's like the fade to black to the commercial break, right? But there's no commercials, so it would just cut to the next scene. Yeah, crazy. And now we're back to commercials, and I hate it. Ain't that something?
I'm a dude. Y'all not gonna personalize the ads? It's crazy. And then some channels, looking at you, BT, would speed up the actual movie that you were watching just to get you to the next commercial break. Then you would have to pay what, $50 a month for this? Plus more if you wanted more channels like Stars, Showtime, or
Oh yeah,
Disney XD.
I had
With the hardest of the
HBO.
core. Cable did his job.
That's the only, like, when I had cable, the only thing that I bought. I mean, actually, I bought Stars and cable for the best movies, and Game of Thrones, HBO. So wait, what? I said sorry. Yeah, I bought Stars and HBO. I had to watch Game of Thrones obviously on HBO, and Stars had the best movies, man. I mean, it still has really good movies.
But the option to simply watch what I want at a time that's convenient for me with no ads was way too good to pass up on. Now we live in a time where movies and shows are releasing back to back to back, all on different services, so many places to go, so many ads. It's full circle is what it is.
It's Five Nights at Freddy's.
Everything going on nowadays, you'd be spending cable money, really.
I mean, it looks like it.
This is the one thing we didn't want to happen.
Never seen it before.
Exhausting.
But that
I just default
that
and have the Netflix on.
that
Like,
machine
you gotta
looks
be
like it.
interested. You gotta sign up. You gotta watch the thing. Then you gotta make sure to cancel the subscription. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm only there to see one thing, and I do the thing too, right? I tell myself, oh, I'm gonna watch more stuff. I don't want the hassle. Not when YouTube is showing free movies and Tubi is showing free movies, and I have Amazon Prime, so like,
Amazon of
gives me
course.
free movies too. But that's another point. You want to know what streaming services I really think are useless though? Gaming services. Game Pass is the only one that really counts. Movies and shows are one thing, but video games get a little bit complicated. Ubisoft Plus. Why would anybody get this? You know Ubisoft games.
Oh, this is for Titan. Ubisoft.
Of games be dirt cheap and 60 hours long for no reason. $17.99 for the full thing to be able to play the new games on day one and access to their entire shaboing boing. Hours and hours of mediocrity. My brother in Christ, I can buy the Ezio collection for $10 and be busy for months. The only reason I can see anybody getting this at all would be to play games on day one for a low price. But once again, Ubisoft games go on sale so quick. I remember Watch Dogs Legion came out, and like a month later, it went from $60 to $40. That is a massive difference. I really think you would be better off just buying the game a little bit later. And why is everybody so mad about Yasuke? Oh no, a black guy. This is completely inaccurate to history. Let me tell you a secret. The entire franchise is historical fan fiction. Minotaurs do not exist. Cassandra was not down there fighting.
You see, we all understand, but they said it was real, and that's the issue. You know what I mean? Just don't say nothing. Just say, yo, we just wanted to make a black guy, and we looked in history, and there's a guy named Yasuke, and we just played around and had fun. Okay, bet. But nah, we actually found letters and actual like facts about how he was moved.
That, man. She didn't exist. She wasn't real. It's all inaccurate. Yeah, Ubisoft Plus, I'm good off that. PlayStation Plus. Look at all this, bro. They got like 3 whole tiers. The premium, they got extra, essentials, which is basically just, oh, we're only allowing you to play online. I don't know. This always felt like a way to extract as much money from us as possible. When I look at this plan, the only thing I really want is to be able to play old games. But to play those games, you have to stream them from a server somewhere. For example, you want to play Infamous 1, 2, Sly Cooper, etc. You gotta stream them from PlayStation server. Yeah. And I've tried it before. It'll get the job done. But and they locked this one at the highest tier at like $17. All of these old games that I really, really want to play, I have to stream them and then pay. Bro, on the brighter side, they give you free trials to some of the newer games like Spider-Man 2. You can play it for like 5 hours. They'll give you a discount on it if you want to buy it. But I've just never really needed it. Games I really want, I'll just buy them, or maybe I already own them. And even if you do sign up for these services, are you really gonna comb through this catalog rapid fire? Some video games be so long. You can't just leave them on like movies. You have to actually engage with them. I don't see people buying streaming services to have access to all of these games. I see them buying them, to get earlier access or day one access to newer games, which leads me to Game Pass. Probably the best deal out of all of them. $15 a month and you get access to a large library of games, but who's gonna play all that? Every time I've ever had Game Pass, I play about 2 or 3 games and dip. Well, I put them hours in, but I just just don't need it all, you know? Last time I had Game Pass, all I wanted to do was capture footage for a Starfield video, which I scrapped. Don't say you're missing out or you scammed us, bro. Shut up, shut up, shut up. That was back when I had like 2,000 subscribers. You weren't here. You didn't miss out on anything. But the game was really boring. Just loading screens, loading screens. Don't get me wrong. Game Pass is a really good deal. If you can't afford games, then this might be the way to go. I just don't have enough time for all of this. It's a lot of games on here. I'm not touching Ben 10 Power Trip, Control, Honing, Cooking Simulator, Crackdown 3, Deathloop, Diablo 4. They shower you with so much, and I appreciate it. I do, but I'm busy. I got other stuff to do. I be in deep thought. I'm a really deep person like that, bro. I just got too much aura, you know, spiritual essences and hieroglyphics and things of that nature. How did I make this video?
I got better at the end. It didn't lag too much at the end. We weren't even planning on watching this whole video. Alright, let's see if Titan's video works now.
It's sold and reviewed terribly. So bad that the studio that made it was taken out back and put down. But all these years later, when you ask people about this game, it is looked back on very fondly. And I assume that is because of how good the fighting is and how insane this game can be at times. Spider-Man in this game is not a real person.
Tonight, at sundown, in the park. Be there or be square.
Alright, have a good one, Zara.
He's like this goofy amalgamation of different personalities that switches every time a scene cuts. He'll go from angry Black Suit Peter to emotionally devastated at the drop of a dime. Even the other characters in this game struggle to take it seriously. You get Kingpin in here, rage baiting, Vulture really just be in the background, Moon Knight be yapping about the moon. This game is so unintentionally funny. You can murder people. The Arkham games would at least try to sugarcoat it, but in Web of Shadows, they let it all fly. Take a gander at this clip right here, and you tell me what else could possibly be happening here.
Oh!
Spider-Man really is a menace. When Tom Holland finishes a hard day of ore farming, this is what he's doing. But let me get to the actual game now. The game opens with Spider-Man slowly walking with his head down, not doing his job. There's explosions, there's screams, everybody's dying. But the premise of this game is that Venom thinks he's the King in Black and has infested the city with symbiotes. The civilians have been turned, the heroes, the villains, they're all falling to it. Even Spider-Man himself has regained the black suit. We don't know exactly what's happening in the moment because the game is doing that thing.
Wait, no lie. I think I know why it's glitching, bro. Give me a second. I truly think I have solved the issue. Alright, now let's try.
Story starts in the middle of the story instead of like the beginning. We're gonna be in the beginning in like 5 minutes. But right now we're fighting symbiotes and saving people. Speaking of fighting, I want you to close your eyes and picture what Spider-Man fighting looks like. Just close them for a second and just imagine. Cool. 2 things. 1, you just do whatever anybody tells you to do, huh? Mr. Yes Master, that's what you got going on. That's your way of life. 2, I bet whatever you imagine looked nothing like this. The combat in Web of Shadows is hands down the defining feature of this game. It is the one thing that no other Spider-Man game has. The things you can do in this game, it's almost limitless. You can skateboard on your enemies, you can ram into them at full speed. Look at this combo.
Oh my god.
On the walls, in the air. There are some fights that take place completely in the air. Do you know how long I've waited for this combat to come back? Do you know how much I've sacrificed? But the combat is split in 2 ways. You have the red suit and the black suit. The red suit is a lot more all over the place in anime, and with the black suit you get like symbiote stuff, of course, you get whips, all of that. There's gonna be a lot of combat tutorials though, like the first third of this game is just teaching you how to play the game. So we save 2 soldiers after abusing the Martians. One of them we take to get help, and I'm just gonna let you watch this.
Where's Cage and his search party? The civilian volunteers! Pretty redhead, arm in a gas!
Huh?
You are no help!
Spider-Man in this game is a very deeply disturbed individual, and I love him. I love every second of deranged Spider-Man. He will be whiny, he will be normal, he will be psychotic, He will be evil. You might think that's because of the black suit, but no, everything I just named is possible in the hero playthrough. And yeah, there's a morality system in this game. You can reject the black suit or be evil. I'm doing air quotations. Being evil is mostly just being a little bit mean. But one thing I do like about this game's morality system is that they don't lock you into one suit. For the entire game, you are free to use the red suit or the black suit. But like he said, Peter's looking for Mary Jane and Luke Cage. However, the soldiers haven't seen them, and the symbiotes start swarming up again, so we annihilate them, and miraculously, our friends appear from thin air. This man slams on top of the car, jump scaring them. But he's telling them how he won't use the suit anymore, and they are very angry and weary of him. It's understandable though. Like, have you seen Peter when he has that black suit?
I knew. I knew he's gonna play that clip.
Mary Jane specifically gets about 3 scenes max, and Luke Cage, the superhero, he is there in the beginning of the game, and after that he is gone. In fact, this right here is his last scene in the game. You can use him as a companion, but that doesn't count. It's not real. And yes, there's a companion system. There's Black Cat, Wolverine, Rhino, Moon Knight, and some others. Here's a fun fact. The Wii version of this game couldn't fit the companion system, so they replaced it with alternate suits, which I would much rather have over these bots.
We don't serve clankers here.
So they leave, and right after, another symbiote appears.
Clankers.
Shadows, Black Cat. Oh, brother, I made it. And then Mary Jane is going to be like, Peter, don't go over there. Now you want me. Black Cat is demonically bad in this game. I would be in there like... So we cut to the actual beginning of the game. Peter and Mary Jane are getting their annual beatdown from the world-renowned hater duo that is Eddie and Venom. He has us on the ropes and is getting ready to feast on this W.
Venom, get ready for a world of pain.
I used to play this game over and over and over. You have no idea. But it took so many playthroughs of this game before I started to question the story. And the first thing I questioned was this moment. And I've come to
Did you ever watch
realize that
Star
there
Wars?
is no answer. This game was thrown together in a cave.
With a bunch of scraps!
There are no lore reasons.
Oh, you never
for it.
watched Star Wars?
It's all just happening. Venom just realizes that he can
I mean, I
use
saw the
these
first
symbiotes.
one.
We use the suit to throw cars.
Like the
at
very
them.
first Star Wars. That's the only one.
This isn't the power trip though. Venom will not hesitate. He's going for Mary Jane now, but resistance against Snow Bunny mind control is futile.
Brock, look at me when I talk to you.
Peter?
Would you consider Snow Bunny just Caucasian? Because I feel like Snow Bunny is like she looked like she has to be blonde too, I think, or brown hair, but a redhead? Nah, I don't think that's Snow Bunny. Maybe a forest.
Mary Jane.
A forest. Let me just continue.
Thank God. Is she okay?
I got your birthday present.
What?
Then there was this loud noise, and
Everything's fine. Let's go. You're gonna be fine. I love my present.
No, I know that a Snow Bunny's a white woman. I know that, but I don't think the ones that date black men. Yeah, but I feel like those usually are like either brunettes or blondes. But redheads? I wouldn't call redheads Snow Bunnies. I'd say they're more like forest, like tree. Let me just continue the video.
See how odd he's acting? Why is he sad? You won the fight, and she's fine. It's just a broken arm. Now the medical bill, that would bring a tear to my eye. We follow the ambulance to the hospital. The webs winning in this game is about what you would expect. The webs hang from the hands of Jesus. We get to the hospital, and I am so serious right now. A gang shootout transpires right when we pull up, and the paramedic has to tell Spider-Man to do something.
You! Stop those lunatics! Yeah, okay.
What do you mean, okay? He
Doesn't
sounds
matter.
like
I
he's
know
Spider-Man,
it doesn't matter.
But you can totally murder these regular gang members. All of them show up and fail to shoot Spider-Man at point-blank range. How? Then Luke Cage appears. He kills someone too. But after that, we get to talk to Luke, and he's like, I've been hunting these guys all day. Could you help me? I don't have a choice, I respond. So we then meet Luke at a park so he can teach Spider-Man how to use the powers that he's had for years. I don't understand. The first one is Spider Sense, which is the stand-in for the lock-on button. The game then does the repetitive thing. Basically, every time you discover a new power or enemy type or anything to do in general, the game will then pick a random number and make you do that thing over and over till it really thinks that you've got what it's spitting. I call it padding the runtime. I call it a waste. Give me my money back. The next move is the web strike. You know, the go-to Spider-Man move in any game. Then, of course, we go around web striking 10 enemies. Do you see? Do you understand now? Are you starting to believe? Now that you mastered the web strike, you must learn the web strike chain, which is just web striking, but continuously. I was already doing that. It's a given. Then he sends us to web strike some cars. You don't have to web strike them. It's just easiest that way. The car's going 100 miles an hour and all. And they're so dead.
What? Oh my gosh.
It's just easiest that way. The car's going 100 miles an hour.
Yo, this is terrifying, bro. Like one little hiccup and you gone.
Web strike some cars. You don't have to web strike them. It's just easiest that way. The car's going 100 miles.
Look, the wind just. It was a tree fort. Yeah, nah, keep.
An hour and all. And they're so
Yeah,
dead,
I'm gonna
right?
keep
Like,
it.
holy yeah. The next move we learn is the most brutal one. I know I just show cars blowing up with 3 bodies in them, but there is something about Spider-Man throwing the full weight of his body into a group of misled individuals on a Wednesday morning that seems way more sinister. Look at the bodies. Look at the spread. I love this game so much. I really feel like I'm Spider-Man. We talked to the leader of one of the gangs because Luke Cage sees that our murder spree isn't working, so maybe a peace treaty is in order. While we head to the sit-down, Mary Jane calls, saying she's out of the hospital with painkillers and a cast. Then she goes to complaining about the black suit in record time. She wants me to put the cup down. I won't. We get to the spot of the deal, and Luke leads the leaders into the building. But oh, what is this?
Spidey sense. There. Who is this?
And now we have to web strike all of them. Now you don't have to web strike them, but it is the easiest way. In fact, you would be dumb not to. Then when you get to the end, you have to do it again, but backwards. And from the snipers, we find out that the gang violence was a setup. There are more details, but this storyline is over. We will never see or hear from these gangs ever again. Let's get out of here. So the mission ends like
I hate
this,
when they
with
do
the
that.
first good or bad choice.
In, like,
It's
old
really
games?
crazy. Just solving their dispute peacefully or violently. The hero option has Spider-Man telling the leaders that they've been set up to fight each other. And from there, they're like, oh damn, guess we won't fight anymore. Unless somebody drops a diss track. The evil choice will have us sitting on a roof while the peace treaty goes to hell. And then Luke lets both leaders call in their gang, and they start shooting it up down there. And from there, we hop in and clean up the mess. And then Peter tells Luke about the soldiers and that we knew it was all a setup. And then Luke is really mad about that, but I will say it again. He sat there and let both leaders call their gang. Brother, you are a superhero. When you see the deal going south, knock them out. So after that, Spider-Man recognized the troops, and he's like, there's only one man in this city big enough for this. So we head to Fist's tower, see what his deal is. We get up there, and Peter is in rare form today.
Hold on. Something's up. Oh no, not her.
Oh my
Why
gosh.
would Cat be working for Kingpin?
Why does everything give him an existential crisis? He can't just exist, he always has to gas it. So we chase her around for a long time. A long one. Chases in this game get so long that I can't tell if the game is bugging out or not. Then in the middle of it, it turns into a boss fight with her and the guards. It gets so chaotic that Moon Knight shows up.
Bring it on! I don't care how many of you are.
Drop the device at once.
Moon Knight? Hello!
Guys of cringe.
Well, actually, it's more like an announcement that he's in the game, because bro is not present in the fight.
You know you love this as much as I do.
Hell yeah, I do. But hold on. No man should be in this position right here. Look at this. She grabs him, reels him in. The shockwave of the velocity sends him right into her arms, which is okay, until you see both feet in the air. Not my goat. Not in the...
Oh my gosh.
black suit. I gotta do something about this. So there used to be this quirk of QuickTime events in
That's
Spider-Man
funny.
games. Failing them would give you some of the funniest scenes in gaming. But in this game, it is this scene right here, hands down. I'm gonna show them all. I don't care.
Are you okay? I told you to lay off.
Oh my god.
Felicia, you in there? Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
I'm right here, you idiot.
So Spider-Man thought Black Cat was working with Kingpin, but she's like, no, she had this plan to, blah, blah, blah. She loves him.
Together we can be whatever we want. Free from want. Free from responsibility. Free to have fun.
I've been known to while.
I have been wildin' a time or two. I've been known to wild.
The evil option this time around is the first step to dropping Mary Jane for Black Cat, and they gaze off at the city saying, it's gonna be ours. You know, I would consider it more mine, you know, with Black Cat sort of being around sometimes. But the good option has you basically ditching Black Cat for the rest of the game. And depending on your choice, you will either be getting more missions from Black Cat or Moon Knight. Both outcomes are pretty much the same. It's just going around fighting a number of enemies again, breaking these machines that attach to buildings by fist, how and why. Can you imagine men in red suits and jetpacks attaching a giant industrial-sized drill to your window? I know Kingpin has pull, but there has to be limits. But these drills, these red suits, these jetpacks, they've got to be coming from somewhere. How do we stop the spread? So we track down a lab to see where all this stuff is coming from, and behold, Vulture. Bro is flying around with some sort of electromagnetic sword wing set. How does that even work? Like, he can throw his wings and not plummet to the ground. This is style over function at its best, but this fight is both amazing and kind of terrible. It's great because the majority of it takes place in the air, but it's also terrible because the majority of it takes place in the air. With the way the game is set up, combat can kind of get repetitive. What I find makes it less repetitive is the way you can, like, shift combat altogether. You can fight on the ground, the walls, the air. Damn near every fight can launch you all over the place, but sometimes the game will lock you into air fights. This one has some leeway to it, but look, it's very clear what they want you to do. But when you take away the other forms of combat and lock into one, it's like, damn. Because the air and the wall combat don't have as many moves as fighting on the ground, and that makes sense. Most of the enemies are on the ground. The red suit does feel way better for fighting in the air, though. We grab his leg, and Spider-Man delivers a devious combo to this poor old man. He kicks him away, and Vulture tries it. Spider-Man then runs on the swords and kicks him in his chest, and somehow Vulture stays in the air long enough for his wings to come back and flex. He must have a jetpack because there's no way. He charges us, but he gets the reverse. And
it's always funny when trying to like come up with logic.
They know the camera is watching. For some reason, they give us a choice right here when the fight is over. It doesn't make any sense because both choices have Peter just webbing up Vulture and dropping some dubious cringe.
Sorry, old timer. Your flying days are over. Cops will be here soon to gather you up and put you back in the coop. Coop. I'm on a roll.
It's so terrible. So Moon Knight or Black Cat, whoever, will send us on another filler quest to beat up Kingpin soldiers, but things get complicated because mid-battle deranged civilians crash. Whoa. This is the important part. Basically, we're on this roof fighting these soldiers, and then these deranged civilians, right, climb up the building and basically decimate the soldiers. So I calmly deal with the clearly mind-controlled civilians. No casualties whatsoever.
Oh
Peter
my
doesn't even try to reason with them first. This would be a great point at a choice right here. Web up the civilians or beat them silly. But no, then the police arrive to see Spider-Man tossing civilians off the building into traffic. Doesn't help that I'm wearing the black suit. Then he's gonna jump off the roof, dive to another, and hit me with this.
I get attacked and then I get shot at. How's that fair?
Am I supposed to answer? Why is he looking at me? That happens whether or not you're doing the good or bad playthrough. That was all I was thinking. We do more random stuff for a while, and by that I mean beating up deranged citizens for vibes. We do that until we run into Wolverine, who smells the parasite on Spider-Man, so he tweaks out. But take this. He ends up getting hurt so bad that he has to quiz us to really see if we're the real Spider-Man. You answer the questions right, you get good points. Wrong, bad points. It doesn't matter though. Good or bad, Wolverine will gaslight himself into trusting us. So the questions we get from Wolverine are actually based in the comics. So if you're not into comics, you're cooked. You have to know Peter's parents' names, whose killers he and Wolverine tracked in Berlin. Like, already I'm scratching my head. Like, what are they gonna ask next? Who was in Paris? But as we fight, some crazed individuals interrupt, and Wolverine is so odd in this game. He leaves me to believe that he's gonna go fight them. He tells me specifically to not go anywhere. This goblin proceeds to... Then as we fight, if you accidentally touch him before the zombies are down, they will tank your hero score. And after fighting, he goes back to the questions. He says, when did we first wear the black suit? In Jean Grey's bed. It was Battle World, everybody knows that. Now he believes us, and we spend the next 30 minutes using spider sense to find people who may be infected with the symbiote. But we won't even need to use his power for the rest of the game because symbiotes will be everywhere. We go back to Wolverine for a quest, and the game is starting to lose it.
Good job, Spider-Man. You took out enough of those creeps to give us a chance.
Thanks, but I have a bad feeling this is gonna get a lot worse before it gets better.
But after talking to Wolverine, it's time to advance the plot. Finally, we can go find Venom.
What are you doing to these people?
Don't you believe in adoption, Parker? After all, you're the mommy.
Peter is like, Eddie, this is not the move. But Venom says, we don't listen to Eddie anymore. Melanin has full control. It's over. I start beating up Venom in his pod. After this, I think you're supposed to follow Venom. I say I think because he keeps running away, and whenever I beat him, he heals. The chase goes on for so long. Okay. I don't know if this is on purpose or if the game is bugging out, but it's there. And there's gonna be another one with Electro. Yeah, Electro is here. Everybody is. Except the Avengers and the him go? I don't know. It's like he doesn't exist after this. And Electro's mission is actually next. We're just wandering around, and we casually see Black Widow. She's the only Avenger we can afford. But I really miss when we could just have characters in games. You think Spider-Man 3 is gonna have Moon Knight, Black Widow just out here cleaning up, Wolverine, any X-Men? Never. But Electro is really mad because
Wait, they're making a Spider-Man 3?
virus, and we have to chase him for a really long time and stop to fight symbiotes and then chase and then fight, and it's just a circle. So we find Electro's sister. Well, she finds us, but she is infected and gives it to Electro. He tweaks out and disappears. Then we find Kingpin at a bridge. Bro is trying to flee the city before the symbiote thing gets too crazy. I think Kingpin's building has a helipad. Why is he trying to drive out? And why is Spider-Man just waiting on him? Oh, wait. It's so he can coyly mention the scientist that could possibly solve this dilemma in front of Spider-Man, who feels really bad about having Venom running around. And Peter's head, it's full. So he goes over to Moon Knight and Vulture and is like, we're breaking into prison. I have an idea. So we break into the prison, release Rhino, ride around on Rhino.
Oh, he just explained the entire game.
We get back to land, and Black Widow is really
actually
angry at
really
everybody
just
running
thinking about
around
that right
doing
now.
whatever they want. So she takes me and my prisoner. Moon Knight probably ran away because he's a really shady guy. And then Black Widow gives us a bunch of busy work, like following a really slow truck while it collects civilians. It's terrible.
2 hours later.
We need to talk to Kingpin for something that I'm sure is important. Inside is the Tinkerer giving his plan. A giant machine that will send a sonic boom across the city, freeing everybody of the symbiote mind control. All we need to do is put it on top of a big building, and the symbiotes are done. And for his services, he wants a lot of things. These demands include a castle, a pool in the castle with a baddie sitting beside it, and of course, many millions of dollars. You know, they just agree to give him everything, which they probably won't do. And remember Electro and how he got a symbiote? Well, he's back at it again. We swing to the area where the boss fight takes place, and we have to fight his fodder. We couldn't possibly go into the fight unwarmed up now, could we? No, that just wouldn't do. So we're there, we're fighting, and there are pods. This is totally what I expected from a symbiote Electro boss fight. He stands over there in the middle, while I fight these pods until the game deems me worthy of fighting his majesty. You really are just fighting these pods, and then every now and again, you'll get to hit Electro. Big electric symbiote guy. This isn't what I thought a fight with him would be like. At the end of this fight, the bad choice has Peter beating the hell out of Electro till the symbiote gets off him, and he says thank you. Call upon me whenever.
What?
The good choice is just Peter standing there, talking him through the desymbioting. That should be the evil one. Like, he's just sitting there watching it, basically. So the next mission, this might be my favorite one in the whole game. Spider-Man and Wolverine are protecting a church that's getting overrun by symbiotes. Wolverine, he gets caught up, bro. He gets infected. It's beautiful. It's perfect. But as we're fighting Wolverine, he takes the hell from the church and throws it at me. But I send it right back to him, and he hits it again. But he hits it again, and he breaks it. My question is, how did he lose health from that? But I beat him. In the hero choice, Wolverine is cutting the symbiote off of himself, while Peter watches in disgust. In the evil scene, Peter straight up rips him in half, and that works. And then they keep it going. Black Cat gets infected too, and we have a great fight with her. I love this one. And this game is so funny, bro. This whole scene is gold. She charges us, and the game goes in slow-mo as Spider-Man swings her around, and then he throws her, and she goes, and she goes, and she goes.
Oh.
This man is gonna scream, oh my geez, cat. You threw her with all of your might. You double spun around for increased effect. He did all of this after a vicious beatdown, and he's gonna sit there and be surprised at the outcome. Then you can choose to infect her with your symbiote or send her to S.H.I.E.L.D. for help. But either way, Black Cat will disappear from the game. I really don't know why they put choices in the game, you know, because choices are there so you can see, like, the outcomes, you know, the consequences, the risks. And I really can't see why they put choices in the game. Nothing ever happens in relation to your choice after you've made it. The outcome for both choices, good or bad, will ultimately be the same. But all of this leads us to the end of the game, where Vulture is now infected. Like, they're really domino affecting it right now. And now we need to go up there and fight him because he's operating the machine. And since Vulture is infected now, he's gonna try to destroy it. And this entire fight, again, takes place in the air. But it is so good, it's so much fun, bro. I don't know why they don't do this anymore. And Peter is so unserious.
I feel like I want her legs to be a little thinner.
So after you beat Vulture, there's one more choice. That's really not a choice. Vulture tells Spider-Man that the big sound device thing is ready to go. However, he's felt the power of the symbiote and thinks we should destroy the machine and use our symbiote to take over, become the king in black. But what the game will do is take your current alignment and bestow that to the appropriate ending. And from this point on, you'll be locked into either the red or the black suit. If you use the machine, the city will be cleansed. But if you don't, things just keep going. Nothing changes. But there's still one more thing going on. There is a helicarrier in the sky, and they're having a big battle up there. And when we get up there, we get hit with busy work. You have to put bombs around the helicarrier or something like that. Hate it. Hate it. But did you remember that Venom is in this game, and he's responsible for all of this? Wouldn't it be crazy if he showed up out of nowhere as a kaiju I don't know how this man gets this big, where he went, how he got up here. I don't know. The game won't tell me. When has Venom ever pulled this move? And you want to know the craziest part about it? This is the easiest fight in the game. All you have to do is web strike the heads. You do that for each one, and that's it. That's the end of the game. The rest is a cutscene. Peter gets winded and chooses to appeal to Eddie's emotions. You know I had to get just one more in there. But he keeps talking to Eddie until he finally breaks through. But bro is adamant that he cannot stop it. I mean, he starts begging us for help. And they sneak one last choice in there. So there's really 4 endings to the game. I only care about one of them. The evil ending, of course. None of the other endings are as cool as this one. The hero ending with all the good choices is just your standard, the day is saved, happily ever after, hooray. The pure evil ending has Black Suit Spider-Man and symbiote Giga Gyat Black Cat running the symbiotes, ruling them, and they have S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Venom Wolverine gearing up to hunt them down. I cannot stress enough how badly I want a game that continues the storyline. I don't think we're ever going to get a Spider-Man game this wacky ever again. But back to the final choice. If you choose to help Eddie, he'll grab Peter and throw him off the helicarrier to save him. Then Eddie will jump into the engine of the ship, blowing it up along with the kaiju Venom. The evil choice. Peter will throw some webs around his neck and throw that man into an engine, straight lining him up, blowing up the helicarrier, blowing up the big Venom, blowing up everything.
Wow. Okay, that was cool. That was cool. Oh, yo. Why I despise Sam. Right here, the first video. I guess we might as well.
Because she sucks. Hey, hello, how do you do? Shady Durags here. You were there when I destroyed Diane Nguyen.
I'm so tired of squinting.
You saw me absolutely obliterate John Redcorn. Now join me as I once again get irrationally angry at yet another fictional character. But this time, she's a teenage girl. Sam Manson from Danny Phantom. Boy, has this video been a long time coming. Yeah, in case you're new here and habitually click on videos without reading their titles, I'm not a big fan of this character. In fact, for over a decade now, I've been telling people that Sam Manson is my second most hated fictional character of all time.
Wow.
Who's the first?
There's $5,000 here. I could pay for it back tonight.
I remember. I played that game for like 5 seconds, bro.
Episode of Danny Phantom that more or less demonstrates all the reasons I absolutely loathe this character. But I eventually decided against that, mainly because there isn't really an episode that properly presents everything I like. While I can certainly pick out one that has a lot of unlikable Sam moments, getting my point across is gonna take more work than that, and I'm nothing if not a hard worker. Wait, the opposite of that is true. So strap in, intellectuals, because we've got a long discussion to have about exactly why I despise Sam Manson, which you all care about for some reason. Samantha Manson, along with Tucker Foley, is the best friend and sidekick of Danny Fenton, aka Danny Phantom, though for some reason in Season 3 they don't like being called sidekicks.
I thought we needed a cool name since we're kind of Danny's sidekicks.
We're not really sidekicks.
Yes, you are. Danny is a superhero and you two assist him in his adventures, rarely ever fighting ghosts on your own. That's a sidekick. It's a little ambiguous how long Sam has known Tucker and Danny. She's definitely been around Tucker for years.
In 2nd grade, Tucker threw up in your lunchbox, but he told you Ricky Marsh did it.
What? I kicked him off the monkey bars for that. It was you?
But it's shown in the episode Memory Blank that she met Tucker through Danny, and it's implied in multiple episodes that she only just started hanging out with both boys relatively recently.
Has he always been moody and glum in December?
A big whiny Scrooge, long as I can remember.
Daughter of Jeremy and Pamela, Sam is the youngest heir to the Manson fortune. Her family is obscenely rich thanks to an invention of their ancestor, though they're far from the richest people in the show. Because of that, they live a prim and proper lifestyle, one that Sam rejects in favor of being a goth, or at least what many thought goths were like in the 2000s, which was actually a subculture of traditional goth and punk. This lifestyle choice is sometimes encouraged by her grandmother Ida.
What's it short for? Ida preferred a different name?
As an activist, Sam believes in taking a stand for what's right. This partially explains her dedication to helping Danny. She feels she can't sit on the sideline and has to be involved in making things better. Danny's lifestyle as a superhero helps her achieve that goal.
So is she like Iris?
Friend, Danny, and I'll always be there for you. I can't live
mean
just sitting on
CW
the
Iris.
sidelines.
Sam's hobbies include video games, poetry, gardening, geeky movies of certain genres, and certain types of historic literature that mesh with the goth stereotype. She's an ultra-recyclo vegetarian, which is just a fancy way of saying she never eats anything with a face on it. For a while, I didn't know if this meant Sam was just a standard vegetarian, or if she was full-on vegan, but after rewatching the show in its entirety, I found this moment.
It is my honor to assist the Great One and his servants.
Servants?
Silence! Oh, Sam of the very vegan.
I think that's good enough confirmation. So yeah, Sam is a vegan, which should be a surprise to no one given her personality. And lastly, Sam has a massive crush on Danny, which she's afraid to admit to herself throughout most of the show, but season 3 takes steps to push the two closer together until they eventually become a couple in the finale. The wiki actually lists her as Danny's future wife. I don't know if that's wish fulfillment or canon. People have told me that the story does continue outside of the show. Okay, where's the best place to start analyzing this girl?
It's always best to start at the beginning.
Hush, Glinda. I'm thinking. I've got it. Let's take a look at the beginning. That's always a good place to start. The first episodes of Danny Phantom, you know, the ones meant to introduce you to the characters, are mystery meet, parental bonding, and one of a kind. And Sam is awful in all three.
What is this? Grass on a bun? What have you done?
Tucker, it's time for a change.
I'm going on a date with the dragon?
Like I said, looks are deceiving. I'm sure you boys will have a wonderful evening.
You want out?
Normally when I talk about a character I don't like, I prefer to start with minor things that tick me off and build up to the aspect they have that annoys me the most. With Sam, that's pretty much impossible because she starts off presenting one of, if not her most annoying traits. This is her first line in the entire show.
Sorry, Mr. Fenton. I was into ghosts, but they're so mainstream now. They're like cell phones.
Yep, Sam is a contrarian. Or as we used to call them back when I still understood slang, a hipster. Well, hipster can mean a couple different things, so let's stick with contrarian. Sam makes it very clear in the first episode that she likes things that are different because they are different, and she rejects things that are the norm. I can understand wanting to avoid being a conformist, but being a contrarian brings the same problems. You're just playing for a different team. Come on, Shady, that's just one episode, and an early one at that. Lots of characters change and evolve as shows progress. Okay, fair point. Let's skip forward to the end of the series and see how Sam behaves there.
I don't have my ghost powers anymore! I'm normal again! Don't you realize what this means?
Yeah, that you're just an average, everyday, not special human again.
Now we can all just be normal teenagers and hang out as much as we want.
Yeah, normal rocks. Your powers gave you a chance to change things, a chance that no one else had. But now you're just one of the crowd again.
Judging her friend based on how different he is from everyone else. What lovely character progression we have. Don't get me wrong, Danny absolutely deserved to be criticized for getting rid of his powers in Phantom Planet. He made a rash, emotional decision in the heat of the moment without thinking about the potential consequences. But Sam's guilt trip of how dare you want to be normal is just downright unempathetic.
You're not you anymore. You're just a normal kid, and a selfish one at that.
How am I selfish? Because I don't want to endanger the people I care about the most?
Seriously, once you understand that Sam is motivated by embracing what isn't considered the norm and rejecting everything else, a lot of her decisions fall into place. Why is she goth? Because goth was the counterculture of the 2000s. Why does she hang out with Danny and Tucker despite having almost nothing in common with them and is actively annoyed by their antics? Because these two are outcasts whom the popular crowd has rejected. Why does she hate beauty pageants? Because everyone involved loves conventionalism. And so on and so forth. Now, I don't know about you intellectuals, but for me, a contrarian mentality is one of the most annoying traits anyone can have. So knowing that a lot of Sam's personality is motivated by that mindset makes it very difficult for me to ever see her in a positive light. Also, I know some people are probably going to accuse me of judging Sam by my adult standards, which isn't fair since she's just a teenager, but trust me when I tell you that I've always felt this way, even when this show first came out and I was around Sam's age. Look, there's nothing wrong with being different, and there's certainly nothing wrong with liking being different. I'm actually very guilty of that. I just have issues with rejecting and accepting something on arbitrary bases that don't include its merit or integrity. I also just hate how media will so easily say being different is okay, but has trouble saying the same thing about being similar to others. If you're being yourself, you're happy, and you're not hurting anyone, why is it bad that you also share traits with the majority? Seriously, guys, it's okay to be one. Funny thing about Sam is that while her first line in the show gives you an insight to her mentality, her second line explains why she has it in the first place.
I think I should tell them.
Why? Parents don't listen. Even worse, they don't understand. Why can't they accept me for who I am?
Sam has entered the typical teenage scenario of gaining an identity that her parents don't approve of. It's practically to a cliche degree. She could be the poster child for "it's not a phase, mom." And like all "it's not a phase, mom" kids, or really most people, Sam doesn't like it when people don't allow her to be herself and
There's our
follow her
hairline.
own life choices.
Just watch what you say around them. They already think I'm on the road to troubled teenhood.
Which, you know, is an understandable
Right
frustration.
here,
If
we'll
you
do.
feel you've got a good head on your shoulders, why should anyone else tell you how to live your life? It's just too bad Sam doesn't feel the same way about other people.
And my all-meat streak is 14 years strong.
And it's about to end. The school board finally agreed to try a new cafeteria menu. I wore them down.
Yeah, despite not liking when people force their lifestyle onto her, Sam is perfectly fine forcing her lifestyle onto others. We are 3 for 3 with hypocrisy being a main reason I dislike a character. Do I hear 4? But let's be clear here,
Yeah,
the menu
I
change
see.
was only supposed to last a week, so really Sam was just getting the school to try something different. However, that doesn't excuse her from hypocrisy.
Sammykins! At least try it on!
And what makes it worse is, when the ghost lunch lady shows up and specifically says she's wreaking havoc because Sam changed the menu, this happens.
The only reason this happened is because you had to be unique. You had to take the meat away, and I'm gonna get it back.
You want to change that menu back? You're gonna have to go through me to do it!
Sam, there is a ghost attacking your school because you changed the menu. Changing it back would most likely make the ghost leave. You should want that. Also, the episode makes it clear that a lot of kids hate the new menu. Why, Sam, are you trying to force change that is being negatively received and is actively putting lives in danger? Now, to be fair, Sam is an animal rights activist. It's possible she changed the menu specifically because she believes eating meat is a form of cruelty and murder. And when someone's performing cruelty and murder, you'll feel a lot more justified forcing other people to comply with your way of thinking. There are 2 problems with that, however. 1, Sam specifically says she does her diet to be different.
Danny, your powers make you unique. Unique is good. That's why I'm an ultra-recyclo-vegetarian.
And 2, of course, this is not the only example of Sam forcing her view onto others. In enters the episode Beauty Marked. Spoilers, I hate this episode. It's a contender for my least favorite episode of the show and would have been the episode I reviewed had I stuck with my original Sam rant idea. In this episode, Sam joins a beauty pageant with the explicit intent of sabotaging it.
Sam?
Yes, Sam. I signed up for the stupid pageant. I'm not doing this to win. I'm doing it to make a statement.
And she proceeds to do so, disobeying the trainer at every turn and making things worse for all the other girls involved. But shady, that beauty pageant was a trap. If Sam hadn't joined, one of the other girls would have became a ghost prisoner.
Dora is a ghost.
So that's your big statement? Dora's a ghost? I mean, what? Wait, Dora's a ghost?
First of all, while it is possible, it's not definitive that Danny wouldn't have eventually figured out Dora was a ghost after a winner was chosen. And if he had, he would have rescued whatever girl got captured. Second, Sam didn't know that when she joined the pageant. Trap or not, she would have sabotaged it regardless.
Excuse me.
I don't know what to say.
Excuse me.
Oh wait, yes I do. These things are stupid.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to defend beauty pageants. I don't know anything about them, and I don't have
I'm
a problem
trying
with
to find a
protests.
way
There are stupid rituals
get
that
her
society
hair.
does all the time, and I encourage people to speak out against ones they feel should be shut down or changed. However, if everyone involved is happy to be there and mature enough to make the decision, who are you to try to ruin that experience for them? All the girls in the pageant, as well as Danny, knew it was a superficial ceremony and all chose to participate anyway. Sabotaging the event doesn't accomplish anything except inflate Sam's ego because the message trying to be sent is already well known. Also, someone sneaking their way into a culture and trying to change it from the inside because they find it problematic when everyone who actively participates doesn't have a problem with it. Now, where have I heard that before? Before we continue, I should note that there are lots of other scattered moments throughout the show that add to my reasons for disliking Sam. She transed her baby, what? But it's really not worth diving into the details of every single one. That being said,
What?
I feel obligated to talk about not worth diving into the details for disliking Sam. She transed her baby, what? But it's really not worth diving into the details of every single one. That being said, I do feel obligated to talk about the infamous moment from One of a Kind.
Boys hugging makes every yearbook funny.
This is often touted as one of Sam's most heinous acts, and you might not believe this, but I actually disagree with the angry mob on this one, and will for once in my life defend Sam. While this act is a little mean, it's ultimately a prank among friends, and when it comes to pranks, how far is too far is going to vary from person to person, as well as from relationship to relationship. Since Danny and Tucker showed that they were willing to humiliate Sam in a similar way,
Wait till we tell everybody at school you let out a 400-pound gorilla. Or we just keep it our little secret.
I doubt the photo would be considered going too far for them in this friendship. Sam is definitely still annoying in this episode, but the photo thing specifically isn't something I hold against her. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, Shady, all of these might be a bit annoying, which is already debatable, but aren't you blowing things out of proportion? You said in your Christmas video that you hated Sam more than John Redcorn, but I'm not seeing anything that makes her a worse person than him. I wasn't thinking that. Well, that might be because disliking a character more than another doesn't necessarily mean you think they're a worse person. As I've said in other videos, how one feels about a character is going to greatly depend on the individual. I don't like that John Redcorn is a hypocritical affair-having scumbag, but I don't really have to deal with people like him regularly. But hypocritical, busybodying, activist contrarians who usurp their way into others' hobbies? Yeah, I've been dealing with their type for quite some time, so I'm a little more sensitive to characters like Sam. The other thing is, at least King of the Hill knows John Redcorn is doing bad deeds and will often treat him like he is, even sometimes going as far as to punish him. Danny Phantom as a show seems completely ignorant of all of Sam's worst qualities and only focuses on what it sees as her positive ones. There are 3 episodes where Sam's actions are criticized to such a degree that she's supposed to regret them and learn a lesson. First is Girls Night Out, another contender for my least favorite episode of the show, where Sam spends a good amount of time underappreciating Jazz.
You just can't accept that I'm part of your ghost fighting team, can you?
Who said you're a part of our team? And
Yeah.
I have a plan.
So do I.
Jazz, trust me, mine will actually work.
But for some strange reason, Sam never apologizes, and the episode ends as if both girls were the problem.
Not nearly as cool as when you... Oh, Mom, we're getting ice cream.
So anyway, yeah, it was so awesome.
Ice cream? Together? They're actually getting along?
The crap is this? How did this turn into a lesson for both of them? It was only Sam who needed to change. Jazz was perfectly happy working with Sam and believed she had value from the beginning.
We've got to figure out how to get them back before they're gone forever.
No thinking, Sam.
Action.
Mom, no. Sam's right.
The second is in King Tut, where both Sam and Danny have trouble listening to Tucker, a personality trait completely made up for this specific episode. So it's not so much of a critique of Sam specifically. Also, while she does say she'll change, again, she never actually apologizes. Danny does, though.
It might listen to you. Somebody should've. I know. And I'm sorry.
And lastly, there's parental bonding, where Sam is upset that Danny only cares about looks, so she herself decides to judge someone based solely on their looks.
Paulina, girls like her are a dime a dozen. Kudos, Danny. You just set an all-time speed record for drowning in the shallow end of the gene pool.
Oh no, you did not just call me shallow, did you?
Oh look, more hypocrisy. This time with an added dash of deflection, since Sam is frustrated about not being invited to a dance, but is directing her annoyance at someone else. But to her credit, Sam was trying to defend Danny, who just embarrassed.
Not saying all people are like this, but I feel like this is, pretty valid. Like, what else do you expect,
Embarrassed himself. Also, she actually admits fault here.
He's my best friend. Maybe that's why I was so hard on you. I didn't mean to call you shallow.
Still technically not an apology, but the sentiment is there. She's in character, regrets her behavior, and she's learned a lesson. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe the writers do recognize that Sam is flawed.
What a bummer. I only agreed to go out with him because I thought I was stealing him from you. I'm going back inside to dump your dorky friend.
Okay, so the one time Sam is meant to learn a lesson in a way that's in character, and it turns out she doesn't have to. She was right to judge Paulina by her appearance, the thing she was trying to teach Danny not to do. This is the big problem here. Yes, Sam has traits that can get under people's skin, but the annoying parts of those traits are magnified when you realize that she is not expected to change or grow. And even be so bad if the show wasn't so heavily critical of all its other characters. Danny is constantly expected to be a better person. You can't go 3 episodes without him learning some lesson about appreciating people, or not abusing his powers, or some other Saturday morning routine.
I didn't know this is the job you were talking about.
That's because he never bothered to get to know me.
Yeah, you're right. I wanted to say I was sorry. I'm sort of thinking that just because I can do something doesn't mean I should. You might want to listen to some of those ideas. I know I should have.
Apology accepted.
Tucker doesn't get as much scrutiny as Danny. He's rarely ever expected to change, but the show still constantly criticizes his actions, especially with what seems to be his main flaw, his inability to properly flirt.
Hi, would you?
Forget it. No.
I didn't ask you yet.
Even Jazz, who is a side character, has multiple episodes where she is humble and expected to change for the better.
Sometimes I do feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulders, but Danny's responsible. And he's a kid, which means it's probably safe for me to be a kid every now and then. But just because I can doesn't mean I should. Ghost fighting's your thing, Danny. I'll always be there for you, just in different ways.
And then we have Sam, the perfect little angel who is clearly not perfect. And get this, there are moments in episodes that are perfectly set up to have Sam go through an arc, but they just don't do it. The best example of this is the episode Control Freaks. Sam's parents are concerned about her being negatively influenced by her hobbies, so they forbid her from attending a new evil-looking event in town, Circus Gothica.
Parents of Amity Pond, we urge you to boycott this morbid assault on the morals of our children.
And it turns out that successfully judging a book by its cover runs in the family, because Circus Gothica was actually a front for a bunch of robberies led by an evil ringmaster. Now, the lesson here should have been that while Sam's parents do have their flaws, sometimes they know what they're talking about, and Sam should take their concerns for her into consideration. But that's not at all what happens. Sam just keeps the mentality that her parents are overly protective of her and are unnecessarily meddling in her life.
Plus, I'll never hear the end of it if my parents learn they're right about him being evil.
Sure, the episode acknowledges that Sam's parents were right.
How ironic is it that I'm stuck under house arrest while my parents go to a free Circus Gothica show?
Only slightly less ironic than the fact that they were right about it being evil.
But Sam doesn't get anything out of the situation. It's treated less like a lesson she could learn from and more like an inconvenience she just happened to go through.
Dear Princess Celestia, I didn't learn anything.
And you have to wonder, why? Why does Sam get such special treatment? It can't be because she's a main character. Danny and Tucker don't get this treatment. And it's not because she's a girl, since the other girls in the show aren't treated this way either. Well, here's where we go into theory territory. Some believe Sam is a writer's pet, that Butch and his team cared too much about her and overly focused on her positive traits, thus not properly punishing her whenever the time came. Similar to how Katara is treated in Avatar, or how Mabel
Oh
is in
my
Gravity
goodness,
Falls.
Katara and Avatar. In the beginning, especially?
And if you know anything proving such a claim, like an interview from Butch or something, I'd love to see it. My theory is that the opposite is true. I think Sam doesn't get as much criticism not because her character is favored, but because it's neglected. Sam, as a character, falls into 2 archetypes that were very popular in the 2000s. The first is the competent girl, half of a duo that is paired with an incompetent boy. Sam's role as the competent girl is to correct Danny, the incompetent boy. This is a bit of a branch off the long-standing straight man, funny man comedy duo. I say it was popular in the 2000s, but I have no idea when it actually took off, because you can find this trope freaking everywhere. This is why a common trope in shows is the respectable mom paired with the idiotic dad. Shoot, Danny Phantom does the trope twice. Once with Sam and Danny, and again with Jack and Maddie.
Who's a 9th degree black belt?
You are.
You are? Here, I'll get the ghost tears. And that's why we make a great team. Here's a cookie.
When you do this trope right, you get shows like Kim Possible where, despite one character being the more competent one, both are so important story-wise, it's to the point that Ron is the key to Kim's success.
See, traveling into your past, I realized one thing. As a team, you two are actually solid. Why? Don't know, don't care.
When you do the trope poorly, you get shows like
She told me she's been possessed by the ghost of
Oh my
Dr.
gosh.
Edna Purdue. It made so much sense when she told me. I accidentally dropped the gun, and well, yeah, here we are.
Yeah, that's low-hanging fruit. Everyone knows Velma sucks. When you do the trope poorly, you get shows like Miraculous, where the characters will say Ladybug and Cat Noir are both vital, but the show will constantly present Cat Noir kidnapped or hypnotized, while Ladybug comes in and does something like defeat multiple villains all by herself. The second trope Sam falls into is the not
Danny's
like
mom.
other
Yep.
girl. Why, yes, I can believe the
Yo,
girl
funny.
through the screen.
There's a character in my story. Where is she? Where is she? Here. She's the wife. She's one of the wives of, like, literally, like, one of the strongest characters. Right? Yeah, one of the strongest characters. She is his... Hold up. No. Yeah, she's the fourth wife. Like, her design is inspired by Danny's mom. The guy's fourth wife.
This trope results in a
It's so funny.
tomboy, but lately it's mostly used for more adorable
And I was like, I mean, hey.
The point here is that the girl makes it a major part of her identity to not fall under the traditional feminine umbrella. And Sam absolutely qualifies.
One of us is going to have to dress up like a boy.
Oh, come on. This is because I wear boots, right?
When this trope is done right, you get very interesting and or fun characters like Spinelli, Daria, Lore, and Toph. When it's done
Toph is the
poorly,
greatest.
you get...
Wait a second. As a guy, everyone thinks my worst qualities as a girl are awesome.
No, Velma is too easy of a target.
Oh my
When it's
gosh,
done
Velma.
poorly, you get characters like Maggie from the Buzz on Maggie, who is a selfish brat, but the writers think her charming because she's strange and she likes it. That's just the way she is. Side note, when I was writing the script for this video, I initially thought it was going to be easy to find bad examples of the not like other girls trope, since it's one I've seen get made fun of a lot, but I actually struggled quite a bit before I finally thought of Maggie. Meanwhile, I thought of a ton of examples of the trope being done well. If you guys know of any more examples of the trope being done poorly, please let me know in the comments because I'm very curious of the ones I missed. It should be noted that Sam also has a feminist aspect about her. I'm not sure I'm comfortable saying she falls into the trope of a feminist since
Yeah.
A, this is a branch of her not like other girls trope, and B, it's a much more minor part of her character, but I think it's still at least worth mentioning. Sam has moments where she pushes for the equality or even superiority of women.
You're just as smart as your brother and just as powerful. True.
I've got lots of cheat codes and secret power-ups in my arsenal. Of course, you guys must know all of those too, right?
Weird. The girls do.
Do this trope correctly, and you get characters like Judy Hopps, who both advocates and demonstrates how someone can push past what society expects of them. Do it poorly.
Why don't the boys have to take a Don't Murder Girls class?
Because I only have $50 in the budget to combat centuries of toxic masculinity.
Oh my
Fine,
gosh.
yes, you get Velma. Happy? Velma takes every stereotype it can think of and does them poorly. When you look at Sam with the understanding that she falls into these categories, it can start to make sense why the writing around her treats her so favorably. The competent girl, the not like other girls girl, and the feminist all individually have hurdles one has to overcome when challenging a character they're included in. When you have all three together in a single character, I imagine challenging said character would feel counterproductive. Criticizing her might come across as you saying she shouldn't be not like other girls, or that girls aren't equal to boys, or that the character whose job it is to be competent isn't actually competent. At that point, never challenging the character would feel like the natural thing to do. In fact, take it a step further and make her really good at a lot of stuff so she can play her roles better. Danny and Tucker need to learn a lesson about fitness. Not Sam, though. She's the competent girl. She would already be fit.
Oh my
The fact
gosh.
that she has no hobbies related to exercise. We can't let Sam learn that her parents
She's
are
the first.
sometimes right, or that the pretty
She's the
girls can be
first. She's the first. What do you call it? Girl boss. Not the first,
That would make
obviously,
sense of
but
a competent girl who is not like other girls. Sam is a feminist, so it's okay that she ruins a beauty pageant for everyone else. She's showing them how she's not like other girls. Even though Sam doesn't take school seriously and is known to skip class,
But it may be carved with a number 2 pencil.
Oh, please.
I'm cutting first period to watch the opening ceremony at the train station.
she's the competent girl, so she's simultaneously those things and a smart person who greatly cares about failure.
What are you looking at? Ah! She tastes like geek!
Ah, it tastes like failure.
We need someone in this a scene to know about ghost hunting laws. We're not going to choose any of the people from the family of ghost hunters. Nah, that would be stupid. Sam is the competent girl. She would obviously know.
But page 198, subchapter 7, paragraph 37B of the Anti-Ghost Code says you need a warrant.
Thanks for the backup, Sam. I'm glad you're up on your anti-ghost laws.
Why the heck is she up when she says she's not even? She doesn't even care to it.
Are shown to spend way too much time doing. So surely they would be better than Sam. And nope, Sam is a feminist, competent, not like other girls' girl. That stands to reason that she would absolutely destroy Tucker and Danny at video games, and it's sexist that they would think otherwise.
What's she doing here? She can't be here to play.
Oh, because I'm a girl?
Danny and Tucker don't even make a sexist
Oh my gosh.
comment. They just assume Sam, not girls,
Technically Wonder
specifically
Woman.
Sam doesn't play video games.
If you were game savvy, you'd know that.
Oh, really? Let me tell you something.
Hold it. You stay here, Sam. You probably don't know the moves that we're talking about here.
Yeah, you just get in the way.
They probably would have made the same comments to Dash or Quan or something.
I'm Ghost Boy. I'm Friar Tuck. We don't need your help because you're a girl.
Seriously, this one really ticked me off, and the examples go on and on and on. Combine these with the fact that the writers of the show have a compulsive need to criticize Danny, even when it's unnecessary, and I have to conclude that these people simply didn't care enough about Sam to give her what she needed. And instead, they let her character roles lead her through every episode, depriving the girl of any development or arcs. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. There is one arc Sam goes through, one thing that the show is constantly criticizing her about.
I guess Ember's spell hasn't quite worn off.
You were never under Ember's spell. Ugh!
Sam and Danny are victims of the friends to lovers will they won't they trope. I say victims because I'm pretty sure more was lost from this than gained. I think what makes it fail so hard is that all the chemistry between Danny and Sam feels incredibly forced. Well, except for their dance. That was a legitimately good moment.
The DJ's still playing, and I think there's time for one last dance.
Sure, I'd love to.
Even with that moment, though, these two don't have anything in common in terms of a relationship. Danny embraces pretty much all the things Sam despises. He likes being popular, he likes conventional things, he tries to fit in. And Sam makes it a habit to constantly criticize Danny because, you know, competent girl and incompetent boy.
That extra life will come in handy when Lancer kills you for flunking again. Well, it's not on the path. Frostbite said not to stray from the path.
Oh, just for a second or two.
Apparently someone's been busy.
It wasn't me, I swear.
Danny, you might want to end this before things spin out of control.
I will, as soon as Lancer declares
Let me
me
just
the
redraw
winner.
her head.
Playing hero takes way too much energy.
Danny, you're ticking me off. I thought there was something more to you. Something deeper.
Go ahead, get ticked off.
The show wants to present the two as Sam makes Danny a better person, but what it comes across as is Sam is going to nag Danny for everything he does because they are fundamentally different. And then there's Valerie.
You know how I said I didn't really like Fenton? I kind of like him now.
Yeah, well, I mean, we like him too.
I don't have time to get into everything with Valerie. Honestly, she deserves her own video. But what needs to be understood for this conversation is that Valerie's ship with Danny has a lot more meat to it, pun not intended. It feels so much more organic. We got to see their journey from enemies to reluctant allies to friends to crushes to heartbreak. This ship had so much interesting storytelling to it, and Valerie and Danny
Beast Boy and
actually
Raven?
had good chemistry
Yeah.
with each other. So Danny winding up with Sam is an extra kick in the teeth to this conversation when Valerie was right there. Seriously, why do all my ships fail? Am I just cursed?
Everything I touch dies!
And that, intellectuals, is why I despise Sam Manson.
Dang, I understand,
She
my
has
boy.
some personality traits that annoy me immensely, made worse by her being treated way too favorably by the writers, and she's part of a bad ship that was chosen over a much better one. Now, let me make something clear. Whenever I do one of these, here's why I don't like Character X videos. People tend to assume I'm saying these characters are objectively bad, which is not the case. I didn't call Diane a bad character in her video, I didn't call John Redcorn a bad character in his, and I'm not calling Sam a bad character here. Her character is certainly weaker than it could have been given all the favoritism she gets, but it's not bad. In fact, let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're a young child. Your parents are absurdly rich, but you don't know anything about that because you're a child. As you grow up, you start to learn what it means to be wealthy. People who you thought liked you are only around you because of your money and would disappear if your money ever left you. Shoot, it's possible some people have already started to abandon you for frivolous reasons. You begin having trouble telling what in your life is real and what's just been bought. So, you reject that fancy lifestyle and start to search for something else. You don't know exactly where to go, but your best instinct is to gravitate towards unpopular things, because at least then you know those things aren't liked by phonies. You embrace the current counterculture. Feeling its authenticity will help you become yourself. You find some unpopular kids and befriend them, not telling them about your wealth in hopes that they'll like you for you. Because of your experiences, you get annoyed anytime one of them starts to praise frivolous popular junk. To your surprise, without help from your parents' fortune, you find yourself doing a lot of good with these friends. You're now part of something special, and you don't want to give that up. Maybe you're a bit too far into your own mindset, but being here feels a lot better than where you were. This is my headcanon that justifies Sam's character. I have absolutely no proof that this is why she is the way she is, but it makes sense and it helps present her in a more interesting light. I said all that because I want to make it clear, Sam is more of a character with underdeveloped potential than she is a bad character. And unfortunately, she also happens to have a lot of annoying traits, especially if you're me. But in making this video, I've been doing some contemplating. I've hated Sam longer than I've hated literally any other fictional character, and I think it might be time to finally let go. Not that I don't dislike Sam, I still get annoyed whenever I see her, but when I lay everything on the table, I don't know if I can call her my second most hated character anymore. Can I honestly say she annoys me more than She-Hulk or Velma? At least Sam is a good person. At least she's trying to make the world a better place. Plus she's voiced by Greg Griffin, so that's like an automatic it's hard to hate her bonus. Really, I can't help but have a soft spot for Sam. Hating her for so long has laid the foundation of characters I tend to find annoying. She helped me discover insights about myself, even if it was through a negative lens. Sam Manson, I despise you. You're an underdeveloped character with traits that I and many others do not like. But you're not a bad person, you're not a bad character, and there are definitely things out there worth hating more than you.
Alright. Okay, yeah, you know, I'm gonna like this video. Okay, okay. I didn't know all that about her. I did not know all that about her. I have never, like, I've seen Danny Phantom, 100%, but I never watched, all of it. So, like, from beginning to end. So I didn't know all about this. No, I was about to play that, but that's 58 minutes. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. Especially because it looks like a gameplay. Excuse me. Excuse me. Whoa. That was weird. I don't know if you've watched this guy, Titan, but this guy, I used to watch him back in the day. It looks like I'm still subscribed, which is why it popped up here. But this guy makes good videos.
The Loud House, the second most successful cartoon
Mostly
on
animated.
Nickelodeon during the mid-2010s, and one that remains popular to this very day. It was such a hit that it even surpassed SpongeBob in viewership every now and then, which is quite the accomplishment considering it's the golden goose of Nickelodeon. Personally, I only heard about the Loud House due to its fandom and how weird it can be. Lots and lots of bizarre fanfics, including one that is, and I can't even begin to wrap my mind around it, over 31 million words long.
Oh my gosh.
Folks, that is like 30 times the length of the Bible.
What do you guys think about, like, fan fictions? Like, how do you guys feel about them?
Oh, what's that? Christianity? Pretty cool. How about the Loud House fandom? Boom. That's my religion. But unfortunately for the Loud House, its biggest skeleton in its closet is due to the actions of its creator, Chris Savino. A guy who screwed up so bad that it specifically changed how animation companies go about dealing with these types of controversies. Chris had developed a less than savory reputation behind the scenes while working in the industry, one that preceded him for all the wrong reasons, following him between different studios and TV shows for over a decade, until things finally got so bad that he was completely blacklisted from working in animation altogether.
Waste of time? Okay.
How could someone go from being a showrunner at the height of their popularity to being considered too toxic to work with in under a year? And why, after all this time, does Nickelodeon still seem to have so much trouble vetting their showrunners? Well, let's find out and discuss what ruined Chris Savino. But real quick, a shout out to our Patreon. Helps a lot. We got some cool perks on there for Bad Movie Night. It's in the link down below.
Stay away from them.
These sponsors help us to pay our editors,
Don't
our
know how to
writers,
write.
our overall team. So thank
Yeah,
you.
I understand that.
Folks, it's February, second month of the year, and also the shortest. Our little short king of a month. But just because we've got less time in the month of love doesn't mean we have to miss out on plenty of lovely Am I reading that wrong? Oh, I'm supposed to be making sleeping sounds. Who wrote this shit? And there's no better way to accomplish just that than with a mattress from Helix Sleep. One of the
Yo, I'm telling you this right now. He loves this this company because I haven't watched him in a while, but this video came out when 2 months ago. I'm assuming. Okay, 6 months ago. Oh, he said February. I'm tripping. Right? And this man is talking about this one, this ad.
It's easy to get started with Helix. Get started by taking the Helix Sleep Quiz, so you can get lined up with a mattress that will suit all of your unique sleeping preferences. You can do this yourself or with a loved one if you share your bedtime space with another. For me, I have a girlfriend and a little dachshund dog. I have like
I thought you were about to say I got a girlfriend and a little shop.
80%. It's so unfair. Then, once you've been paired with your mattress to be, you may eagerly await its arrival, which is free in the continental USA. Locate your Helix to its desired location, and then easily unpack your mattress. It takes a moment for it to fully unravel itself, but all good things are worth waiting for. And now, a love poem dedicated to my Helix. Oh, my darling Midnight Lux, my muse, my love, my bedtime lust. You are truly meant to be, conforming to my back and knees. Folks, I didn't claim to be Shakespeare. I'm just a stupid man. Their robust lineup of mattresses include the award-winning Lux and Ultra Premium Elite collections, and the Helix Plus for big and tall sleepers. I'm talking about like the Philadelphia Eagles offensive linemen who are like 6'5" and 350 pounds each. It's insane. Go Birds. There's even the Helix Kids mattress design for the little goblins you've brought into this world. The President's Day sale is live now, and they're offering my viewers an exclusive deal. So, click the link down below in the description box to take advantage of 27% off your next mattress. That's a very unique number, 27. I think it's a deal. Then you can try writing your own love poem for your mattress and see if you can write a better poem than me. Good luck. Thanks again to Helix for partnering up with us for this video. And now, back to the video. Christopher Mason Savino was born on October 2nd, 1971 in Royal Oak, Michigan. Chris grew up loving comic strips and classic Saturday morning cartoons, including his favorites, Looney Tunes, Underdog, and Rocky and Bullwinkle. His childhood actually served as the premise for the Loud House, since he grew up with 9 other siblings. 5 sisters and 4 brothers. God, I cannot imagine what getting ready for school was like for them. Good luck using the bathroom. But the show that seemed to inspire him the most was Mighty Mouse, The New Adventures, a short-lived series with a cult following. Notably, Chris only realized he could study animation as a possible career path during his senior year of high school. After graduation, Chris went to the Detroit Institute of the Arts and eventually got his start in the animation industry at 19. His first job was working as a layout artist for, oh no, Ren and Stimpy. John, we gotta stop meeting like this. Seriously, we really need to stop meeting like this. With these specific circumstances, yeah, the irony is palpable, and it's getting really old. Out of all the people I've covered so far on these scandal deep dives, Chris Savino by far had the most credits to his name. Like, this guy was literally everywhere from the start of the 90s into the early 2010s. Here's some of his most notable credits I found online to really drive this point home. Rocko's Modern Life. He was a designer for the characters, props, and backgrounds for pretty much the entire series. Dexter's Lab. He storyboarded 15 episodes. That's well as writing and directing 26 episodes between seasons 3 and 4. Not to mention becoming the show producer after Gindi left. Which personally, I wasn't crazy about that change of direction. I like the old Dexter much more. But it's a the Powerpuff Girls. He provided
Wow.
storyboards for 15 episodes from season 1
This
to
man
season
was
6,
passed around.
as well as producing and writing over 25
Or went
episodes
around.
from season 2 to season 6. Foster's Home. He wrote 6 episodes and was the
Wow.
animation director on 23 episodes between seasons 2 and 5. Man, this this next one really threw me for a loop. My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. He wrote 2 episodes of the first season, including Ghostbusters and Stairmaster, along with Fluttershy's Lullaby from the same episode. But Chris did not stay there for long, as he headed off to the Disney Channel in 2010 to become an executive producer on Kick Buttowski. Along with
Wow.
directing 71
Yo,
episodes of it.
yo.
So yeah, those are his biggest
And a lot,
credits for
yo.
sure. But there's a few shorts he made and tons of smaller roles he filled on many other shows too. And if I went into all of those, we'd be here all day. But at the very least, we can see he's been at all 3 of the big TV animation studios in LA. Cartoon Network, Disney, and Nickelodeon. As reported in Animation Magazine, Nickelodeon created the Animated Shorts program in 2012 for indie artists to submit animated shorts to the network. The response was so overwhelming, with over 600 submissions, that Nick expanded the requirements for the following year. Starting on January 22nd, 2013, potential showrunners would have to make a pitch deck and a 2-minute short to present
want
their
her hair to
pilot
be
to
like
the studio.
this.
And out of the 1,000 submissions Nick had received in 2013, the winning short chosen was The Loud House, created by, you guessed it, Chris Savino. The story centers around Lincoln Loud, an 11-year-old boy living with his family in a Detroit suburb. He's a middle child with some nerdy interest, but Lincoln has to compete for space with his 10 sisters. All right, you ready here? Here we go. Lori, Lenny, Luna,
Nah, you don't even need to do that, brother.
Len,
Brother,
Lucy,
you can stop right now.
Lola,
I forgot the
Lisa,
first
and
one.
Lily. And Steven! Each of the sisters have their own distinct personality, with a lot of the comedy coming from how they interact, getting involved in Lincoln's wacky schemes. Actually, I did not know this until recently, the characters were developed as rabbits. But Chris was advised to change them into humans instead, to broaden their
I can
appeal.
see the many
Each
kids
of the
now.
siblings were color-coded to make them look visually distinct and similar to a classic comic strip.
Excuse me.
Kind of gives me like Schoolhouse of Rock vibes.
Oh my
During a preview
gosh.
article with Variety,
Yo, no, 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 no. Oh, the Loud House. Yeah, I'm sorry, May. I know you just showed up. Or, I mean, you probably paid attention, but I have to go and put up the Schoolhouse of Rock real fast. Am I gonna get copyrighted for that? Yo. Oh my goodness, that hit me. That hit me like Truck Coon for real, man. Oh my goodness. What's your oh my gosh.
You sure gotta climb a lot of steps to get to this Capitol building here in Washington. Well, I wonder who that sad little scrap of paper is.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city.
Can you guys hear? And put it up a little bit.
While I'm sitting in committee, but I know I'll be a law someday. At least I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill.
Gee, Bill, you certainly have a lot of patience and courage.
Well, I got this far. When I started, I wasn't even a bill. I was just an idea. Some folks back home decided they wanted a law passed, so they called their local congressman, and he said, "You're right, there ought to be a law." And he sat down and wrote
Give me a second. On the fine. Hold up. Hold up. What is it? What is it? I can't remember. Hold up. Hold up. I can't remember the one that I was thinking of. Conjunction junction. Conjunction junction. What's your function? That is the one, bro. Oh my. And it was just so smooth. It was animated by Disney? Wow. You had the video game? I am about to get copyrighted. Try. I had to risk it all, but oh man. I mean, I know it's before this, but um, old time 70s grammar cartoon. 70s? Oh my gosh. Cause this one right here that I'm watching was posted in 2010. But gosh, bro. Gosh, bro. Crazy. I didn't know Disney animated it. But Disney did
Chris
everything back
stated,
then, right?
quote, "I wanted the episodes to give you the feeling you get sitting down with the Sunday funnies," end quote. The Loud House went into development for 2 years and premiered on May 2nd, 2016. From the start, The Loud House was a smash hit for Nickelodeon. Within just a few weeks of premiering, it became the top-rated animated kids show on any network, with nearly 2.2 million viewers for the first few episodes. And yeah, this figure got them greenlit for a second season on May 25th, 2016. Nick was also embracing a new form of marketing for the show geared towards younger audiences. This involved creating a ton of online content for them to check out. Now pull out their phones and do little Loud House TikTok dances. God, I'm old. Exclusive videos
For real?
and behind-the-scenes footage on the Nick app, a Facebook page, and even a comic series posted on Instagram. It's since been taken down, but the concept alone was kind of cool. Nick also launched a production blog on Tumblr to build up the hype between seasons. It included interviews with the crew members, animatics, podcasts, and tons of other interactive elements to check out. Admittedly, some members of the Loud House fandom got a little too weird with the shipping of the characters of the show.
Of course.
And I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
The Loud House got incredibly close to matching SpongeBob's popularity, which is like really saying something. New episodes of The Loud House averaged 950,000 viewers for their target demographic, with SpongeBob hitting around 984,000 per episode. Now, I obviously did not grow up watching this show, and longtime fans know I was busier doing much more manly things, like watching My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. But those kinds of numbers for Loud House are very impressive. Like, it's no wonder why Nickelodeon banked on the Loud House so much. In a first for the network, the Loud House was nominated for 2 GLAAD Awards for their positive depictions of a same-sex interracial couple. Lincoln's best friend, Clyde McBride, has 2 loving but overprotective dads named Howard.
Yeah, what year did this show come out? Huh? What movie did this show come out? I mean, What? I said, what movie did this show? What year did this show come out?
Harold. To this day, The Loud House still holds the most GLAAD nominations for Outstanding Kids and Family Programming since the category was created in 2018. But their most prestigious award
2018
win was a 2019 Daytime Emmy for Outstanding Writing and an Animated Production. Things just kept ramping up for the Loud House, with a third season renewal announced on October 19th, 2016. But ironically, this announcement date would change everything. Because exactly 1 year later in 2017, it would be the exact same day that Chris Savino was fired from Nickelodeon. To many of his targets, it would be long overdue karma for what he had been getting away with behind closed doors for far too long.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so we've addressed the highs. Now let's get into the downfall itself. I'll talk about the allegations in a bit, but first, I think the timing of all this incident is an especially critical thing to bring up too.
Oh!
So in case you don't recall, public awareness of rampant sexual harassment
Man, he was just drawing. He saw old Betty turn around and he was like, "Hey, Betty, hey, is that a new skirt?" And she was like, "Oh," and he was like, "I mean, hey, I know this ain't the '70s no more, and they got rules or whatever now, but hey, all I gotta say is, it look nice. This is it. That's all I'm saying." And then he got back to, you know. Yeah, you know. That's all I gotta say. Nothing else. You can head back to work. I want to see what was said. That's it.
And the workplace was at an all-time high in October 2017.
Also, 2016 is when it came out.
Problem in Hollywood, but the most highly publicized cases came from there. Specifically with Harvey Weinstein being the first major case to capture the public's attention at large. Suddenly, people well known for being predators inside the industry were getting publicly canceled, losing the protection they had taken for granted from major studios. They finally had to deal with the consequences.
But the thing is, you know, I'm not gonna talk too much about Kevin Spacey, but from everything that I saw, Brad's like, I'm not getting involved in whatever you're saying, sir. But from everything that I saw about his case and everything, I mean, I could be wrong because I just saw like a few videos, but from the things that I saw, everything was like he was said not guilty and everything. For everything. Or am I tripping?
Once the breaking news response became too overwhelming for the studios to ignore. During this chaos, a private Facebook group was created by a community of female animators. They had united over their shared frustrations of sexism in the workplace. One of the first community posts was from storyboard artist Cheyenne Curtis.
Okay, Cheyenne, what happened?
She vented to them about a predatory guy who tried to extort sexual favors from her in exchange for an animation mentorship when she was 22. And without her even naming them.
I was around 22 when it first happened and desperately trying to break into the animation industry. He followed me on LinkedIn and through email and everything. He was fine, but meeting him in person, it escalated.
Many of the commenters instantly knew exactly who she was talking about.
I love pineapple, but I hate I ate pineapple 2 days ago. What the Titan. I thought you were gonna talk about what pause definitely, but I thought you were gonna talk about what I asked. I thought you were trying to subtly get to the answer, you know? You didn't want to outright say it. But I feel like for me, that's why I hate Peanuts, you know? Like Peanuts is like that for me. Cause it's like a pain, you know. Like it's only that happens to you too. Cause like when I eat like what is it, pistachios? Perfectly fine. Almonds, perfectly fine. But peanuts, I'm in pain. I got up and left. Oh, say some grace. Oh, you just got back? Okay, so he was talking about Kevin Spacey, and I was like, from everything that, like, from the video that I saw, not everything, I didn't like go do a deep dive, but from the video that I saw and everything, it looked like wheat bread kiwi. Oh, so you eat like kiwi like in a sandwich between two breads? Okay, interesting. Haven't tried it. Um, um, yeah. So from everything that I saw, it was like not guilty. He was not guilty for any of the things. But like I said, I could be wrong. But the video that I saw, I remember that's what I was saying. Like he was not guilty for the crimes and stuff. And then he started throwing some, like, I don't know if it's like on some OJ stuff. Like, well, he was not guilty, but we know he did it type thing. I don't know if it was on that. Oh, things that mess up your mouth. Wheat bread and kiwi. Really?
Because they too had a similar experience. These animators had been forced to repress their stories of harassment and abuse for years. The accusations against Chris Savino had been piling up, and eventually, something was going to give. Now that shit-stain Harvey Weinstein was being taken to task, they had an audience that was now socially aware enough to actually hear them out. Finally, the survivors had a collective voice and numbers, and a traceable pattern of abusive behavior, all coming from the same source. On October 17th, 2017, the Chris Savino scandal broke as an exclusive headline for Cartoon Brew, with Chris
numerous claims
being put on immediate leave of absence after a dozen employees had accused him of sexual harassment. This article spread like wildfire online.
You know what's so crazy?
Some of the allegations involved came from artists.
Popcorn. 100%. I don't eat popcorn like that. Mainly because I just, I've been changing like what I eat specifically, and I just haven't like found like an actual popcorn that I can But popcorn most definitely, because like when the little shell gets stuck up there, oh, it's there for days, bro. It is there for days, and it hurts. Popcorn is the right answer. Nothing else. Yep, popcorn is the right answer. When you said pineapples, I was like, pineapple? Like, are you eating like the skin? Because I don't think I've ever been in pain for pineapple. Popcorn 100%. Like when the little kernel gets stuck up there, like at the roof of your mouth. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like right now, I can feel like the pain. I can feel the pain, and I haven't had popcorn in like years, definitely. I can feel the pain because I know exactly where it'll be. Like right at the roof of your mouth, like right, like near your tooth, like your back teeth. What? Not canned? No. I mean like fresh pineapple, yeah. Freshly cut pineapple, yeah. I never got that feeling. Like you just cut a pineapple a little bit and you just eat it? Never. Like the most annoying foods to eat, I'd say oranges, mangoes. I mean oranges are pretty fine. Mangoes most definitely are annoying. Like I said, peanuts, because peanuts always get stuck up there. Especially like when you have like peanut butter, crunchy peanut butter with the peanuts inside. Oh my god, hate it. Popcorn most definitely, like you said. What was this? What else did I say? What else were we talking about? I don't know what else. I said wheat bread. I don't know. Yeah, and like when it starts getting like really stringy and it just gets stuck between your teeth. Oh my goodness. Like throughout the day, maybe even tomorrow, you just got like it's just like I'm trying to get it out. Unless you like floss and stuff. I like ripe pineapples. But usually, honestly, like I would honestly say though, Titan, I usually buy like frozen pineapples. But like when I cut like a normal pineapple, I don't really get that problem. It's good for digesting meat. Oh, really? Like, do you like eat it with it? Oh, you know what? Listen, I don't eat pork, but like I remember, like at Thanksgiving when they'd have ham and they have like a slice of pineapple, like a ring of pineapple with it. You think that's the reason? Raw white onion. What? You just eat that like that? Like that? Okay. I don't know about that, mate.
For the industry, but they all seem to have a very similar experience with him. One anonymous source Cartoon Brew interviewed stated, quote, I met him at Disney Channel while he was directing his show, Kick Buttowski. The first time, he was very nice to me. Then he got my cell phone number, and he kept in contact with me. At that time, I was 22 years old. One night, he started to text me drunkenly, asking me to prepare myself an alcoholic drink, giving me some recipes, and having fun conversation about it. So it was very weird for me. Then he sent me an alien emoji with the splash emoji and asked me for nude pictures. Another night, he sent me a picture of his and told me a dirty secret.
You see, this is the
about how
thing.
he-
This is the thing.
Then he started.
This is truly the thing, right? With this, Nazo is create ugly. Ah, good to know. Yes, and this that is the reason pineapple and pork. Ah. Bro don't want that bacon. But the interesting thing about these things, right? I feel like a lot of the time it's gonna be a hot take, right? But in the beginning of this whole era of the Me Too, I feel like it was so much more believable. You know what I mean? But now because so many allegations have been thrown out and a lot of them have been proven wrong, it's kind of like it's ruining the true victims, which really sucks, you know? It really, really does suck. But like when I'm hearing these ones back here, I'm just like, yeah, I believe all that. And does that mean that the person has to be like a bad person for me to expect something like this from them? No. It could be like anybody could, be moving like this, but it's just so much harder to believe now because they've been lying so much recently. They could have been lying back then too, but they're just more slick with it. But now, oh my god. Because these be lying. Yes, they do be lying. Yep. They do be lying. And it's just it's like broadcasted in front of the world now, like more, We're just like, yeah, look at her. You know she lying. And you're like, yep. And then she's like, listen, I lied because oh, so you were? Yeah, I was lying. But he was playing with my name, so I had to. I was like,
harassing me for years, telling me he had an open relationship with his wife. So I started to feel very uncomfortable. One day, I went back to Disney to visit one of my dearest friends. Chris saw me and shouted at me, asking why I hadn't told him I would be at the studio. He showed some jealousy about that situation. Then, years passed, and I visited Nickelodeon to join one of my friends for lunch. He learned I was in town and started asking me again by text why I never visited him, and being so annoying and aggressive. He also asked me to hook up with him before I left LA, and told me if I would do inappropriate things with him, he would give me a freelance job as well. I had an opportunity to work at Nickelodeon a long time ago, and I did not take the job because I knew he would be inside the studio.
Good job,
you should
bro.
never allow people to do this stuff again.
Good job. You see what she did right there, Titan? She said, oh, nah, I'm good. Right? And right there, I'm like, okay, girl. But, and I know you're going to be like, but still, you got to understand the manipulation. Of course, but if she would have went through with it, oh, nah. Oh, nah. I ain't letting that slide, old lady. I mean, I mean, she was 22 at the time, but I still ain't letting that slide, Missy.
Inside a place where there are a lot of women trying to come up in the industry. End quote. The impact was palpable between different rungs of the creative totem pole. Some of the targets chose to stay anonymous, either due to ongoing investigations with HR.
Yeah, but that right there, I hate that. I hate that so much, right? The fact that you can be anonymous for an allegation like that. Because it's kind of like saying, me just walking up and saying, yo, I saw this person delete all these people, right? But I want to stay anonymous so nobody finds out it was me. What the freak you mean you want to be anonymous? You're about to ruin this person's life, potentially. You got to come out and say it. Say it with your chest. You know what I'm saying? Go openly and be like, yeah, that is the person that did it. Because there's no way, especially with a lot of these people that are getting their lives ruined by allegations, right? Imagine somebody's like, yeah, I don't want nobody who knows me, but yeah, he did that. He did that. And then you find out he didn't do it, but he lost his job, he lost his family, and then the girl that lied is just, I mean, I thought it was him, I guess, and just walk home free, and nobody knew it was her who did it? Oh, no, no, no! Like, literally happened. I saw a story, it was about, like, these school kids. They all got in trouble. He's right, exactly. This guy, he got, these guys, it was these multiple guys, it was, like, school guys. It was a long time ago that happened. They lost everything, right? They lost, they got kicked out of school. They lost some things. I forget everything that they lost, right? But then years later, the girl said, oh, well, yeah, none of that stuff happened. It was just, like, I felt, what did she say? Like, jealous and or lonely, she said. And I was like, what? She lied. They lost everything. Like that. So when I look at it that way, I'm just like, ain't no way you cannot outright say it. Obviously, like, the girl did outright come out and say it, but I'm saying there's no way that you can do that, because now we can look at that girl and say, this girl is an untrustworthy lady, right? That we need to, like, look out, like, we need to pay attention to. Like, if she says anything, make sure we gotta, like, you know, because she's willing to lie to ruin somebody's life. We gotta understand that, right? But when they're anonymous, I don't know who it was. So now this guy, he loses his job, he loses everything, and then he goes out into the world, you know, he, like I said, he can't get a job. People, like, everywhere they see him, they think of, like, the thing that happened, but then they found out, like I said, it was a lie. That girl that accused him, we will never know. We'll never know who she is. She can be working, like, one of your coworkers. And this girl literally ruined this guy's life for a lie. Oh, no. We need to know. We need to know. I need to know who it is. I need to be like, oh, okay, that's you? All right. That's all I need to know. Because those type of things, I couldn't be in a, like, I wouldn't want to be friends and or in a relationship with a person that would do something like that. That would lie like that? Ruining that person's life? Like that? Oh, nah. I can't do it. I cannot do it.
Or for their own safety. But one of them went public immediately, namely animation director Anne Walker Farrell. She's best known for her work as the lead animator for seasons 1 through 4 of BoJack Horseman, and
Never
shared
seen
her
it.
story through a
I mean,
series
I've
of
seen
tweets
clips from TikTok. That's the
posted
only
on
reason why I
October
know what it is.
18th. During a later interview with BuzzFeed News, she expanded on how long Chris's behavior had gone unchecked after having her own incident with him 15 years prior.
And the thing is, honestly, for me too, I feel like, and I know sometimes it's different, like sometimes somebody just needs somebody to, like, stand up for them to stand up. I understand that's how it is. Like, I understand. But sometimes when a whole bunch of people just tag along after, it makes me feel like it could have been like, yeah, he was like that, you know what I mean? Ruining so many people's lives. But on the other hand, for me, sometimes I'm like, a lot of the time, because a lot of people love attention. Just look at social media. Just look at these people. People love attention, right? So sometimes I'm just like, come on now. Nah, I don't believe it. right? Like once it starts getting to 50 people, I'm like, 50 people, bro. Nah, bro. Nah, I don't believe it, bro. Nah, I'm alright. Maybe 5. Still a bad guy for the 5 people, but 50. Come on, guys. Oh well, I was a miss. I don't think so. If you were, honestly, I'm sorry, but I don't believe you, man. I'm sorry.
Was furious that he was still doing this to other women. It was this period of 48 hours, this storm. I went from, hey, here's the event in the distant past that happened. I think I was one of the only ones. I feel kind of crappy about it. To, oh my God, we're an army. End quotes. The floodgates were open, with new horror stories coming to light on a daily basis. Many of them all tended to have the same pattern. Chris would target a new hire, or younger woman looking for mentorship, with his behavior quickly shifting into demanding sexual favors for new opportunities. Understandably,
who's that
this
one voice
unhealthy
actor,
power dynamic
Titan,
greatly impacted the survivors
that
from
we saw in
speaking
that
out.
one video that did this?
There was a very real risk of retaliation or being blacklisted from an already small industry. And it sounds like Chris knew that and took advantage of it by using his influence against them. Another incident reported to Cartoon Brew followed this pattern, stating, quotes, "This took place about 4 years ago. Chris was working with the development program at Nickelodeon. A woman close to me had a project that was being developed under
Like
his
who
supervision.
did one of these?
He
Like
got
he
her
used his
personal
power
contact
and he was
information
just
under the guise of
talking to the
helping
young
her develop
voices.
the project off hours.
The voice
He
acting
presented
girls.
himself as a mentor.
Do you remember?
He then
It was a video
proceeded
we
to
saw. I
send
think you
her
sent the video
unwanted
over,
text
or was one of
messages
the people
that
from
were
your video.
lewd and sexual in nature
Was it you or
on
Brian?
more than one occasion.
It could have been Brian.
When she turned down
I
his
don't remember.
advances, her development project was let go. He is a classic case of a predatory male using his status and power over a female subordinate. As with most victims, she was worried of how speaking out against him would affect her career, and no action was ever taken. End quotes. Eventually, things reached a boiling point with the LA animation community, demanding action from the studio higher-ups. So while many of these allegations against Chris have been happening for well over a decade, the studio actually did something about it relatively quickly,
Of course they
due to
did.
the Weinstein effect. As a result of the backlash, Chris was officially fired from Nickelodeon on Thursday, October 19th, 2017. Nick's parent company, Viacom, did exactly what you'd expect and put out a vague statement that had stock public relations response written all over it. As published in Variety, their statement reads, quote, "Chris Savino is no longer working with Nickelodeon. We take allegations of misconduct very seriously,
See?
and we are committed
Nowadays,
to fostering a..."
we take allegations very seriously. And I understand this was like the heyday of this whole thing, this whole movement. But now, I don't know. And it sucks because it's only hurting the true victims, bro. That's the only people that it's hurting with these lies, bro. But they, like I said, people have been lying for years. But it's just now, it's just so open now, you know?
A safe and professional workplace environment that is free of harassment or other kinds of inappropriate conduct. End quotes. There was also an internal memo that went out to Nick employees and ended up being shared in industry trade magazines. While I'm guessing their message was intended to be comforting, it comes across as non-committal and victim-blaming. Quote, "In the current climate, it feels necessary to say that if you should encounter an uncomfortable situation at work or witness one, you are safe to speak up. If you hear something and are unsure of what to do, you are safe to tell your supervisor or HR. If you need help in any way, you are safe to ask for it." End quotes. Yeah, that's corporate speak for, it's not our problem until you get the press involved. A lot of office workers probably
Obviously.
know this already.
Yeah.
But functionally, human resources is there to protect the company first.
Yep.
It usually ends up as the last resort for employees who are having conflicts at work. Well, you know, that or leaving a job altogether. Frankly, if a studio feels the need to make a statement to the staff like this only after a big public scandal, then yeesh. Chances are this kind of conduct has been a company-wide problem behind closed doors for a long-ass time. And they're only now doing something about it because the bad publicity is overwhelming. Nickelodeon was far from the only studio having these kinds of issues, but how they handled it was going to set a precedent for the entire LA animation scene. The real kicker was when an open letter got sent out to all the major animation studio executives on Thursday, October 19th, 2017, the exact same day that Chris was fired from Nick. This letter wasn't just signed by his victims either. It had over 200 signatures on it from people working in animation demanding that they take sexual harassment.
The thing that throws me off is like, yeah, this man's weird and creep. Do I believe that he did this stuff? Sure. Especially, like I said, at this time. But, like, and they said they took the allegation seriously, and I said, yeah. But, like, did they have anything? Because she said he texted her, he sent her pictures. Did she show the pictures? So I feel like at a certain point, can you show me, like, what he said? Or some pictures? Just to make sure he's the guy that you're talking about. Because when it starts to get like that, then you start thinking, well, he could, or she could just be like, well, he didn't greenlight my new character design that I pitched in, or a new series that I wanted, so I'm going to bring this up. You know what I mean? She could have did that simply. I don't know. Do I believe you did? Like I said, yeah, I do. But still, it's just very interesting.
Harassment and the workplace seriously. The demands they listed were simple. 1. Each studio needs to lay out clear policies for dealing with sexual harassment and strictly enforces them by investigating and following through on reports. 2. The Animation Guild should add language to their constitution to address anti-harassment and discrimination violations for members. And 3, asking male coworkers to stop making excuses for sexist behavior in the workplace and to actually stand up for their female colleagues. That's it. Like, that's literally all they were asking for. There is nothing unreasonable here. It's the kind of thing where you can't believe that it wasn't already a standard policy, at least as far as larger studios go. But hey, here we are. And that was the energy of their closing statements too. The people involved in creating the open letter were fed up. They were exhausted and just wanted to be treated like equals. Quote, "It has not been easy for us to share our stories with each other. Many of us were afraid because our victimizers are powerful or well-liked. Others were worried that if they came forward, it would affect their careers. Some of us have come forward in the past, only to have our concerns brushed aside, or for our supervisors to tell us he's just from a different era. All of us are saddened and disheartened to hear how widespread the problem of sexual harassment still is in the animation industry, and how many of our friends had been suffering in secret. It is with this in mind that we resolve to do everything we can to prevent anyone else from being victimized. We are united in our mission to wipe out sexual harassment in the animation industry, and we will no longer be silent." End quote. The letter was published in full on October 20th, 2017, through publications like The Hollywood Reporter, with all the signed names included. There are some prominent animation figures who signed it, like Steven Universe creator Rebecca Sugar and Lauren Faust, the creator of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. But guess who also signed it? Yeah, that's right, Julia Vickerman, the creator of 12 Forever, and Lindsay Carosa, Carl's now ex-wife. Yes, I swear this is real. It is on the article itself, clear as day, and with hindsight, it's incredibly ironic. Jokes aside, I'm certain they've put up with some weird sexist crap too. But yeah, sometimes reality really is stranger than fiction. The following week on Tuesday, October 24th, 2017, Chris released a public apology on his personal Facebook page. It reads, quote, "Oh, damn. I'm deeply sorry and I am ashamed. Although it was never my intention, I now understand that the impact of my actions,
he
communications, created an uncomfortable environment. At every stage of my career, I've sought to uplift my colleagues and cultivate a culture of
I mean, I feel like
respect."
he had to admit it. Because I feel like I said, this at that time it was the heyday, or like it was like when everybody was getting hit. You could just say something, like say anything, and it was a wrap for you, right? But I do believe that, this man probably did. He probably was out here like this, bro.
And this objective...
Oh, not the creepy woman? What? Wait, May, what happened? What did she do? Oh my goodness. I didn't know I was going to be sent somewhere else. Okay, I gotta understand now, May. What did she do? What did she do? I need to know. Let's go up. Like about right there. And then this one. Come up. Go down. Curve. Gonna add a little bit of baggy. I mean, this is not gonna be official. I just wanted to play around. I feel like her outfit needs to be a little bit more. Yeah, that's not it. A little bit more, more.
I have
a little
failed.
bit more.
I should have known better. I should have acted better. And this has been a difficult but valuable lesson. I have nothing but the deepest respect for the bravery of the women who have spoken out, trying to create an environment in which they can thrive and reach their fullest potential. Sincerely, Chris. Okay, so obviously this isn't anywhere close to an actual apology. The entire thing reads more as Nickelodeon demanded I make some kind of public statement to cover their asses in the press, and this is me doing that in the least accountable way possible. And I want to put some of the language used in this thing under a microscope. Because it's not just what he says that is so lackluster. It's the way he says it that shows what he really means. Quote, although it was never my intention, I now understand that the impact of my actions and communications created an uncomfortable environment. Well, that's weird, because I'm pretty sure the women he went after made it abundantly clear they did not appreciate the way he was treating them and asked him to stop. Unless, of course, they felt
probably didn't in the beginning.
So unsafe interacting with him that they stayed quiet out of fear of retaliation and instead found someone they trusted to confide in. So that, never mind.
Like, it's because it's in the workplace. But, like, if you were to see a random chick, right? And then you were like, you message her, you're like, hey, what's good, right? And then she was like, she was talking to you here and there. And then you just started sending some pictures, right? And then she was like, right? But she didn't say anything. And then, you two didn't like my comment. She was talking to a teen online. Oh, really? I see. So she was talking that way. I see. So one of them again.
Intention line is pure bullcrap. You can unintentionally step on someone's foot in a movie theater, but your actions have still hurt someone. And apologizing for something that minor is just common courtesy. The way that this was worded feels like a weird non-apology. The impact of your actions on others is what really matters, because it affects them too. So if you're actually going to apologize, don't hide behind qualifiers like that. Own it. Be sincere, stop doing it, and move on. Oh yeah, this next line pisses me off too. Quote, I have nothing but the deepest respect for the bravery of the women who have spoken out, trying to create an environment in which they can thrive and reach their fullest potential. End quote. For Chris to continue harassing his female coworkers, even when they did whatever they could to completely avoid him, shows me one of two things.
Yeah, but what is
A,
everything that
he
they
completely
could?
lacked any self.
Because like Titan said, you know, a lot of people, they they feel trapped, you know, like they can't do anything. So what did they do really? Did they say, hey man, I like no, or did they play along with everything? Because at that point, then he's just like, I thought she was down. You know, she even sent me some pictures too. Like, I thought everything was Gucci.
Awareness whatsoever, which I doubt. Or B, he knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah,
did it anyway because he thought he could get away with it, and couldn't care less about how his behavior would affect them as people. Either way, yikes.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah, you know, success is a hell of a drug.
That's why I know. That's instantly why I was like, he definitely
for creating these
because he made the biggest. Like at that time, he was in his heyday. What? So I instantly, as soon as I found that stuff, I was like, yeah, he probably did. Because like people, a lot of men, right? Once they are at their peak, they just gotta ruin it all. For some stupid reason. I don't understand. It's kind of like what they said about that one short. I never found it, but they were like, YouTubers, like big YouTubers, every time they see like a, it's not funny. It's really not funny, but it's just so real because it just keeps happening. But YouTubers, every time they see a person that is not of, you know, they just gotta it's insane, bro. Truly.
Second highest rated TV show on a network? I could definitely see how that power could go to your head, even if it is for a cartoon. But it does not mean you're untouchable. And if you treat enough people like crap, they'll remember it and warn others to stay away from you. Or worse, they'll organize. From the looks of it, there were enough working artists who felt so uncomfortable being around Chris that they wanted him kicked out of the animation industry completely. Not just for what he did, but to collectively send a message that they were sick and tired of people like him. Abusers being sheltered from consequences and making their work environment more toxic than it needed to be. Him getting fired from Nickelodeon wasn't going to cut it, as any other studio could have given him a counter-offered job after the smoke cleared.
Then Cartoon Brew put out an article, and that forced Nickelodeon's hand, and he was fired.
There was this huge anxiety that he was just going to get hired somewhere else.
People do terrible things, and then they just get to keep working.
And the statute of limitations for sexual harassment in California is so small, we could not even legally do anything with that.
Instead, the woman involved in the open letter had to act quickly and took their case to the local Animation Guild trade union in LA. Up to that point, there hadn't been a legal case of removing someone from the guild due to sexual harassment. Notably, their local 839 branch didn't even have language or rules in place for addressing sexual harassment or discrimination claims. This is a huge red flag, obviously. So how exactly were they going to do this? First, they needed to find a restriction within the guild constitution that would be the closest to addressing Chris's behavior.
This is so crazy to me. It's so wild to me, May. You know what I mean? Because, I don't know. I'm just thinking in my head. Because as soon as he said discrimination claims, I was thinking in my head, like, what if I went, right? Because like I said, this is at the heyday. What if I went to HR or something, right? Or not HR. Well, I just went online because, you know, online is like everything's online now, right? And then I randomly make a TikTok post saying my Caucasian boss, I'm just saying, for an example, if I had a Caucasian boss, right? She was saying a whole bunch of racial slurs my way, right? And then all of a sudden, she loses her job. She loses everything. Her name is ruined. She can't get a job anywhere. But guess what, guys? I was lying. So now what? What happens now? Does she still lose her job? Is she still unable to be hired places? See how crazy that is? Because the reason why I brought that up like that is because it looked like they didn't show any proof. They could have. They could have. And I'm saying, like I said, he admitted it, and I believe that he did it. But I'm just saying, in other situations when they didn't need all that, you know, they just started believing everything. Like, isn't that kind of crazy? I could just randomly say that, and she gets... Oh, just like that court case we were watching. She lied and said that he did something to her because he was openly going to mention how she was being racist towards him. So she lied. Isn't that insane, bro? Like, she literally tried to play victim first. That is... It's like so scary, bro. This world that we live in. That's why I'm like, sometimes you just gotta do your own thing, you know. Make your own company, do your own thing. It's not easy, but for like stupid stuff like that not to happen. Crazy, man. And I'm just saying that in a sense like of just in the chances when people be lying. I'm not saying like all the time because, you know, it helps sometimes, but like in the cases when people be lying, that ruins people's lives, bro. Toby Fox was accused. Oh my gosh, you see? When things like that happen, I'm really like, you've literally ruined people's lives. Because you have to understand, those people that get accused, it's not like a simple thing. Like, their family get hit too. You know what I mean? Excuse me. Their family get hit too. And you have to understand something. Once your family starts to look at you like a piece of garbage, you have to understand what that does. Because at the end of the day, you can always say, well, people might hate me, but I can go back to my family. Obviously, some people have terrible families. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about like people that have good families. Most of us, I believe, right? Or good enough families that they care enough about you. If they were to turn their back on you too, because the world already has, what else do you have, bro? You're not understanding what you're doing to somebody's reputation, to somebody, like, just their being. You're literally saying, oh no, they're garbage now. And people don't even need, and the thing is, this the world that we live in now, people don't even need evidence. You're jailed now. You're fired now. We hate you now. You deserve to get now. Because somebody said that you did this, or somebody said that you said this. Insane, bro. Truly insane.
They went with disloyalty to this local guild and or disloyalty to fellow members, as his actions were a betrayal by making fellow guild members feel unsafe. Next, they had to create a sworn affidavit, or a written statement that would be used under oath verifying their claims, that had to be notarized. Megan Nicole Dong, the future creator of Centaur World, drafted the affidavit
Centaur
with
World? I
93
feel like I heard
different
that
members signing it. They tried to get it done at a UPS store, but so many people showed up that they got kicked out. Instead, they called a mobile notary who met up with them in a Chuck E. Cheese parking lot to certify it. Once the signatures were done being notarized, they pleaded their case. However, the day before the trial was supposed to be held, Chris agreed to a guilty plea bargain deal with the guild. Thanks to a lousy loophole, he could only be suspended and not expelled from the union. This was not ideal, but he was sentenced to the following punishments: a year suspension from the Animation Guild, mandatory payment of $5,000 to be donated to a charity of their choice, complete 40 hours of community service with a charity of their choice, and finally, take a certified course in sexual harassment training along with mandatory counseling. So instead of a trial,
what?
To a charity. But he was sentenced to the following punishments: a year suspension from the Animation Guild.
Okay.
Mandatory payment of
What? What? Huh? Oh, so this is what the guild said he has to do. Cause I'm like, is he like? Because listen, I mean, I guess there are probably laws on that, right? Cause I'm like, yeah, this man's a terrible person for what he did, but like, this, what is like? He has to, you know, he gets suspended for the time being, whatever. But he has to do. He has to pay $5,000 in charity and community service hours. They said
to be donated to a charity of their choice. Complete 40 hours of community.
What? If I was him, I'd be like, yo, listen, bro. I shot some shots, and they were all misses. But what? But hey. I tried, and I failed. Because I'm like, what are they, like, so, by them doing that, I mean, because he did send pictures, and isn't sending pictures, like, a crime? I feel like that they couldn't get him on, because they said he sent pictures. And they most likely deleted him after, but, like, still. Isn't that, like, a crime? To, like, send somebody, like, pictures like that?
Service with a charity of their choice. And finally, take a certified course in sexual harassment training along with mandatory counseling. So instead of a trial, the guild had a hearing of 11 different witnesses who all had very similar experiences of being targeted by Chris Savino. One of my favorite anecdotes from the hearing came from this BuzzFeed News article titled, quote, "I'm sorry is not enough," by Ariane Lang. The article reads, quote, "After a few hours of testimony, a member of the trial board said it was time for a break. As the 11 women briefly conferred, Savino said they should all keep going because he thought they had excellent momentum going. And Walker Farrell turned to him and said, 'Shut up,' and told the trial board they could use a break. Testify supporter Aminder Dalival said, quote, 'It was kind of this comedic moment I needed. I can't imagine anyone else saying, we're making great momentum at their own sexual harassment trial.'"
I understand. Like, it's probably because I just don't have a clear picture in my head, or because I'm a guy. But I'm trying to think, because I'm even like trying to put like female family members in the situation, so I could try to comprehend everything, right? This guy's a creep. Yes, we can agree, right? And everything that he did, he actively tried, right? So he sent pictures, he sent messages. He was like, "Hey, yo, why don't you send me a little something?" You know what I mean? He did all that weird stuff. At the end of the day, they all said no, and they all went away. He was in a higher position, so yes, he can lose his job if they decide to do that. And obviously, they would be to please the fans, because the media, they practically need them, you know, to make money. I mean, they definitely need them to make money, right? So I'm thinking, after that, because he didn't physically do anything to them, right? after that, what? Like what else? Like what? Like what? Like what else? Because I feel like, okay, so I'm thinking about it as this. So if somebody came into your house, right, you invited them in, and they start acting a fool, open the door and put them outside, right? Is it not that simple? Just send him away, let him go. Because he didn't do anything physically to harm you. All of this is just, you felt uncomfortable. Because I mean, if if you were in a room, right, with somebody, and they just like they went number they just released it, like they went number 3, right, and just all everywhere, right, and now you are in a comfortable situation because it stinks in there, and you for some reason can't get up and walk away, or let's say you don't want to walk away and get up, right? At that point, they didn't do anything physically to hurt you, but they just made you feel uncomfortable in the situation. Can't you just probably tell them to leave, or get them to leave? If it's your house, then get them out. Because like anything else, like, I don't know. And like I said, it's different when it comes down to shame and shun. Yeah. Because I feel like it's different, obviously, like when it comes to like grooming and like what kids and everything. It's completely different. But like, if you're, like she said she was 22, and this man tried to act. He was trying, like, he was like on his high horse. He was like, yo, I just got this hit show, bigger than SpongeBob, and hey, you better know who I am, and guess what? Guess what? I want you. And she was like, no, thank you. And he walked away. And he was like, nah, I guess you didn't hear me. I got more viewers than SpongeBob. You know what I mean? I want you. And then she was like, I'm sorry, but no. And then she walked away, right? And then he tried one more time. He sent her some pictures. He was drunk at the time, hey. And he was like, yo, why don't you send me a couple something too? And she was like, no. Right? And then it was done. And now this man gotta pay $5,000 to who? Yo, I shot my shot and I missed. Why do I gotta pay you? I mean, not you directly, but I gotta pay these people? And I gotta work for them for 40 hours? I shot my shot and I missed. That's just what I'm thinking, because he didn't do anything physically. It was just all emotional distress. Right? Unless some of the people, you see, like I said, we don't know everything. Unless some of the people actually took him in on his offer. That's what I think happened, bro. Some of the people, because he said, yo, if you, you know, I can help you out. I think some of them took the offer. Because that's the only way. That's the only way I see that. The only way. Somebody had to have accepted. Somebody sent some pictures over. Somebody, you know, went out drinking with him. Somebody went to his house. So they like, oh, I want to keep this anonymous, but things happened. And I kind of got a hit show from it, but we're not going to talk about it. I don't know. I'm saying.
Oh, end quote. Well, okay, maybe he really doesn't have any self-awareness. And it somehow took a massive crowd of women telling him he sucks to break through that delusion. With that, the hearing ended, and the animation studios in LA were notified that Chris Savino had finally gotten a taste of his own medicine. His year-long suspension began on April 7th, 2018. But as we know now, his distance from the animation industry would last substantially longer. So what exactly happened to the Loud House as a show afterwards? Well, just like SpongeBob, Nick finally took every opportunity they had to expand.
They made a live action? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I've seen probably like 4 episodes of the show because it was just like what the heck? It was just like on TV and I was like, okay, why not? But this is insane.
Ban the Loud House as a media property. You know, as soon as the creator wasn't involved with managing it any longer.
They didn't know what to do.
Steven Hillenburg, we miss you. The Loud House was still a very valuable property for Nickelodeon, and they had no intention of letting it go due to the scandal. They retained the rights to the show independent of the creator, and brought on a new series director to replace Chris pretty much immediately. His replacement was Kyle Marshall, a storyboard artist supervisor who suddenly had to take on the lion's share of producing and directing for the hit series.
So it dropped.
Nick launched an array of Loud House spin-offs, specials, games, media tie-ins, all of the stuff you would expect from one of their most popular franchises. Most notably, these spin-offs included the Casa Grandes, which aired from October 2019 to August 2021. There was also a live-action movie, a live-action series, and 3 animated TV movies. So yeah, a lot. Now, there are Loud House fans who are still pretty vocal online about the show's quality dropping substantially after Chris was fired. And while that's not shocking to hear, it's not going to change anytime soon. After the whirlwind of new developments ended, the sexual harassment case against Chris found an entirely new audience on late-night TV. On March 13th, 2019, an animated sequence detailing the events of Chris's cancellation was featured on Full Frontal with Samantha Bee. Those were the clips I had to use for context regarding the trial, as that with Samantha Bee. Those were the clips I had to use for context regarding the trial, as that kind of information wasn't otherwise available to the public before it aired. At the very least, people who wouldn't have otherwise heard about the scandal could now see just how far these women had to go to get any sense of justice in Hollywood.
You mess with someone's friends and they'll fuck you up, you know?
Well.
Okay, so what happened to Chris then?
Yeah,
well,
what he got going?
Following 2 months after being fired, reflecting on his actions, figuring out what to do next. Looking for guidance, Chris focused his attention on becoming a born-again Christian.
Oh, okay, good on you, man.
Raised in a religious household, but the structure and community aspect seemed to be what he needed to try to get his life back on track.
Congrats,
Later,
man.
Chris was interviewed on October 1st, 2019, by a fringe Christian website called The Daily Renegade, owned by Josh Peck. No, not the one.
Oh, I was about to say.
Totally different guy.
What the heck?
Wish it was, though. Anyway, during the lengthy interview, Chris explains what drew him to the church was to make sense of where his life ended up, and how during his time in the animation industry, he gradually became an addict for alcohol, work, and attention from his female coworkers. Quote, although I was happily married, I continued to seek attention from other women. I found myself having, what I believe to be mutual, conversations of an inappropriate nature through text.
This is why, like, I always remember that Bill Burr joke. He was like, you know how people always judge people who cheat on their wives who have, like, a lot of money? Like, when Tiger Woods cheated on his wife and everything. He was like, you guys need to understand. The people that they got, the people that they got around them that are interested are on a different level, right? And that's what I thought about when he said that. Like, not that he said like the women were like on an extremely different level, but because he was at a higher point in his life, he just assumed that he was king, like he couldn't be touched, you know? Like, it didn't matter. I know I'm married, but I could do what I want. I got my show is bigger than SpongeBob right now.
Messaging, which eventually led to an affair that lasted nearly 2 years. In the fall of 2017, at the height of my career, and at an emotionally heated but understandable time in our society, those selfish choices led me to losing my job, my show, my career, my wife, my kids, my home,
he had kids
most
too?
of my
Oh,
friends,
man.
and all of my career-long colleagues. But my addictions were not the cause of my downfall. I had choices, and as a married man, I chose poorly.
I'm glad he's like taking accountability. I'm really glad that he's taking accountability right there, because he understands. Yo, I should have chilled out. You know, I should have stayed focused. You know.
I take full responsibility for those choices.
Respect, man.
My personal role and the outcome. End quotes. Chris goes on to detail the exact moment he got his wake-up call to take getting help seriously. Quotes, in early 2018, I was sitting alone in my apartment, contemplating the circumstances of my life. What would I do? How does one start
But mate,
over?
do you have a video
How would
on
I
that
provide for
that
my
thing that you were talking about?
But at the same time,
That guy?
I also asked myself, why had I made the kinds of choices I did? Why did I choose the short-term fixes of addiction? Why, when I had it all, did I feel completely empty? What was I missing? I suddenly asked myself a question that I never thought I would ever ask. Was God missing from my life? The question nagged at me for days, and I did a little research online. I didn't know where to begin. Finally, I took a risk and reached out to a few friends whom I knew were Christians and asked for help. End quotes. Chris was baptized on May 6, 2018, and has been diligently going to church ever since. He tried to get an indie animated show called Busted Bible Stories funded on Lure, a streaming service with a Kickstarter element for viewers to fund the shows they wanted to see. But as far as I can tell, the campaign did not take off, and the only thing left from it is the concept trailer on YouTube.
Remember, just because we take the Bible seriously doesn't mean we can't have a laugh along the way.
Now, I want to make something clear. I do not have a problem with someone turning to organized religion.
I'll look at it. All right, thank you. I really hate the what we got for Christian media, you know, movies and animation and stuff. They just don't be hitting, you know. I just need listen. I need something give me you know, I should probably make it. Give me a crazy you can just use the text, you know, you don't have to change anything. It could be the book of, who should it be? I don't want nothing too basic. Okay, there's a in is it, where is it? Because I know it was with the Israelites with Moses, right? But there was this moment when they're sent, spies are sent to, oh my goodness, where are they sent? I'm folding right now. But they're sent to spy on this this country. Right? And when they're over there, and it could just be it could be short stories, but when they're over there, this lady ends up taking them in, right? But because the people that the soldiers, they heard some people were here that ain't supposed to be here, right? But the lady was like, "Oh snap! I know these people. You know, hold up. We don't even need to do that one. We can go with what's her name in David, because David from David and Goliath. This man was going crazy. After, before he before he became who he ended up as, but there's so many stories, bro. I just need I need some and obviously it's not just budget, but like technique. I need some AOT level. You know what I mean? It don't mean nothing too crazy, but give me some AOT. You know what I mean? Just the grittiness and the realness and just the epic. That's all I need. I'm over here looking and all I see is like some Veggie Tales, and I mean there's actually this this new series. I mean it's not new, but it's from a studio called Angel Studio. They did like a animated thing with Young David, I think it's called. And it actually looks really good. Actually looks really good. That's what I can say. Oh. Well, May, I wasn't talking about this, but I guess we could. I was talking about the guy, the one that you said got accused. But I mean, this one, we can see. We can see. Wait, hope. What? How long is this video? Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not crazy. If so, we'll just check it out tomorrow. Oh, it's not crazy. We can watch it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Sid Alpha, and while I did speak quite openly and publicly that I
are they doing well? Yeah, I heard like some of the things that I've seen on there are really cool, and I heard that they have like this other animation thing that they're doing, which is awesome, right? But I just need some really good like animation stuff. Like, you know what? I just need to make my own studio, guys. Let's make our own animation studio, all right? Oh, this is the guy? Oh, my fault. My fault. Because it says, oh, I didn't read it because it said Zoe at first. I was like, Zoe. And then I assumed it was you were talking about the animator lady. But okay, let's see.
I was aware of this article. A great many people are still reaching out to me and asking my thoughts on the matter surrounding Zoe Quinn in the post-millennial article showcasing how her allegations against Alec Holoka are likely fabricated. At the very least, her accounting of events do not at all line up with her own public statements on social media. A fair warning, I will not be censoring myself in any way within this video, and the subject matter might not be fit for younger ears.
Oh,
I say that.
Oh, crap. If he's not censoring, does that mean that I'm about to get age restricted?
Now, so if any concerned parents or people caring for young children are about, you would at least have some
Listen, just censor certain words, please, sir.
Time to be able to hit the pause button before I end up saying something that would put parents or caregivers into a difficult position. I will do my best to line up information in as concise a manner as possible before I offer up my full thoughts on this issue, and I will include any new links in the description below. We already have the previous video in place with all of those links, so there's no need for me to duplicate work. If you need to call any of those up, that video is there for you. Now, I will post a card to that previous video in the upper right corner of your screen, but to sum up, Zoe Quinn accused Alec Holoka of some pretty terrible things publicly on social media that included not only physical, but emotional abuse.
Okay.
As a result of that post, cancel culture went into full swing. The other developers of Night in the Woods publicly cut ties with Holoka over the allegations made. Anita Sarkeesian attempted to piggyback herself onto this allegation, and others, cheering over the gaming world having its own Me Too movement, herself then attempting to act the concerned public figure when Holoka took his own life. After the unfortunate suicide of Holoka, things got even worse with it.
He said the word. It's gonna be rough, but it was already thrown out there. YouTube, come on, please.
In the cancel culture circles. Holoka's sister posted an announcement on Twitter in which she stated she believed survivors, something that is quite common with members of the ideological far left, which many cancel culture enthusiasts have incorrectly taken to mean she was admitting Holoka's guilt. As I said, mere days after her cheering for Holoka being pilloried on social media, Anita Sarkeesian changed her tune, attempting to pass herself off as someone supportive online. Brianna Wu attempted to use the tragedy for her own agenda, attempting to make the whole thing about Gamergate, and even accused Gamergate of being responsible for multiple mass shootings, also imploring law enforcement to, quote, investigate credible threats. However, whether she meant that in reference to those accused of similar acts or simply to investigate members of Gamergate, it cannot be determined from her statements. Scott Benson, one of the other developers of Night in the Woods, released a lengthy Medium post that aired even more dirty laundry in a clear effort to also paint himself as a victim of emotional abuse at Holoka's proverbial hands before the body was even cold, piling on to the cancel culture court of public opinion that had already ended with Holoka taking his own life.
Wow.
Zoe Quinn then suspended her own Twitter account, only to later remove that suspension, stating that disabling the account also disabled two-factor authentication, making the account more vulnerable to hacking attempts. Also, in my previous video, I spoke at length concerning both Blackstone's ratio and the concept of innocent until proven guilty, decrying the mob mentality tactics conducted in the court of public opinion and just how terrible and monstrous it really is.
Who was that guy,
I
though?
won't attempt to duplicate work, though. It was, at least I think, pretty well done
what did he
as far
do?
as that's concerned, and I'd urge you to go have a listen if
what
you
is he known
haven't
for?
already. If you have, I'd urge you to go back and listen a second time. And now we have the post-millennial article. In that article, they point out that Quinn did not specify when the alleged incident occurred. However, a YouTube video had captured the now deleted tweets that showed she was preparing to leave for Winnipeg at the end of March 2012 and had arrived late March, early April of that year. Quinn claims she was physically confined to Holoka's apartment and isolated from the outside world. Her Twitter posts show a very different picture, as while she was in Winnipeg, she was apparently shopping for material to make plushies and working on a project.
He created that game?
Also, there was
he was a game creator?
In a musical somehow. Her and Holoka also arranged multiple meetups in mid-April and early May. In late April, she also apparently appeared on a podcast with Holoka called Indie Function, and the article also contains several audio clips from that broadcast. The article also discusses how Quinn accused Holoka of taking over and edging her out of the It's Not Okay Cupid project, while the article states that the podcast, as well as Quinn's own public tweets, run counter to that argument. And I'm going to read a couple of lines from this article. In the August 28th statement, Quinn also says that upon the rapid, anxious escape from the abusive circumstances with Holoka with the help of a roommate, the man did not so much as acknowledge the departure. But a May 4th, 2012 tweet states that Quinn and Holoka were working hard to crunch on It's Not Okay Cupid just hours before the flight, entirely disproving the claim. The article continues. Interestingly, after Quinn's return to Toronto, Holoka and Quinn exchanged several lighthearted public tweets into the month of May as their work on It's Not Okay Cupid continued. Now, this is, bear in mind, only a rough summation, and I can't stress enough that those interested go read the full article for themselves. I don't want to run through all of the information because they did some good work here, and I don't intend to divert traffic from them, but rather encourage more traffic to this article. And my own thoughts on this topic initially were made abundantly clear. However, seeing this additional information, seeing how this supposedly mentally and physically abused woman continued to not only engage with her abuser, but enthusiastically engage with him in a public and private manner, just screams red flag to me. We all know that the trio that is Zoe Quinn, Anita Sarkeesian, and Brianna Wu are ideological opportunists under even the most generous of interpretations of their actions over the years. I, however, tend to be far more direct. Zoe Quinn is a scam artist. That much is evident enough with her Chuck Tingle video game that she received over $85,000 in funding only to abandon the project. She was confirmed to have admitted to deliberately sabotaging the Polaris Game Jam, and she has been proven to have been a liar in countless instances to the point where I strongly suspect she is indeed nothing more than a pathological liar. Regardless, she's built her career off of victimhood alongside Sarkeesian and Wu. She made a public allegation in a direct attempt to both attain sympathy and to also discredit and destroy a man through the court of public opinion as opposed to taking it to the authorities 7 years ago. But this is the world of cancel culture. It is mob rule that deliberately ignores any and all factual evidence in favor of believing alleged victims at all costs. Since that video and my posts on Twitter, I've seen a great many arguments made against my statements that innocent until proven guilty should be ignored. The most common threads follow along the lines of attempted virtue, of concern due to the inactivity of legal departments or the sheer difficulty to prove such crimes. I've even seen people attempt to cancel me to a lesser and completely ineffectual extent over something as simple as saying that an issue such as this being far too potentially damaging to be tried in the court of public opinion. Now, I look at people like Zoe Quinn, Anita Sarkeesian, Brianna Wu, and their ilk, and all I see is poison. A group that claims so much virtue, that claims to be standing up for people's rights and for equality, yet exhibit none of the virtues they expect others to adhere to. What I see are authoritarians, people who espouse a set of rules yet expect to not be forced to abide by the same. I'm reminded of what Friedrich Nietzsche wrote once upon a time. Thus I speak to you in a parable. You who make souls whirl, you preachers of equality, to me you are tarantulas and secretly vengeful. But I shall bring your secrets to light. Therefore I laugh in your faces with my laughter of the heights. Therefore I tear at your webs, that your rage may lure you out of your lie holes, and your revenge may leap out from behind your word justice. For that man be delivered from revenge, that is for me the bridge to the highest hope, and a rainbow after long storms. The tarantulas, of course, would have it otherwise. What justice means to us is precisely that the world be filled with the storms of our revenge. Thus they speak to each other. We shall wreak vengeance and abuse upon all whose equals we are not. Thus do the tarantulas' hearts vow, and will to equality shall henceforth be the name for virtue, and against all that has power we want to raise our clamor. You, preachers of equality, the tyrannomania of impotence clamors thus out of you for equality. Your most secret ambitions to be tyrants thus shroud themselves in the words of virtue. Aggrieved conceit, repressed envy, perhaps the conceit and envy of your fathers, erupt from you as a flame and as the frenzy of revenge. They are like enthusiasts, yet it is not the heart that fires them, but revenge. And when they become elegant and cold, it is not the spirit, but envy that makes them elegant and cold. Their jealousy leads them even on the paths of thinkers, and this is the sign of their jealousy. They always go too far, till their weariness must in the end lie down to sleep in the snow. Out of every one of their complaints sounds revenge. In their praise there is always a sting, and to be judged seems bliss to them. But thus I counsel you, my friends, mistrust all in whom the impulse to punish is powerful. Yep. They are people of a low sort and stock. The hangman and the bloodhound look out of their faces. Mistrust all who talk much of their justice. Verily their souls lack...
It's like every single time there's a situation where everybody is against one person, I always end up looking at the other side like I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's on against you, and then I instantly just start to stand in the middle looking at both sides real quick. Because how is, like, everybody's just pointing their finger saying, you did something. I'm like, especially in this world that we live in, I feel like that's what's conditioned me to start, like, if everybody's pointing their finger at somebody, I have to start looking at those people now. Like, why? And look at all the evidence before I, finally make my decision.
More than honey. And when they call themselves the good and the just, do not forget that they would be Pharisees if only they had power. That was written in the late 1800s, well over 100 years ago, and yet so disturbingly apt even now. Yes, that is what I see when I look at Zoe Quinn and her ilk. A bunch of people that use victimhood to claim virtue, but are individuals that thirst for nothing more than power and the ability to use ideology and the concept of equality.
And this is what happens when you give somebody who quote-unquote was less fortunate or weaker back in the day, when you give them power, you know what they're going to do with that power? They're going to abuse the power. That's what they're going to do. They're going to say, well, no, we just wanted it to be like, and then now you are, what are you going to do with that? Now we have to be better. In every situation, I'm not even just talking about men and women. We can bring up race too, because I see it happening everywhere. Well, they did this to us for so many centuries. So guess what? We're going to do now. We're going to do it back to them. But I thought you just wanted to be... No, we have to continue the cycle because it makes sense. We have to get our turn, even though we didn't live through that. Crybabies?
Quality as tools to subjugate.
Also, yeah, I was about to say, like, this game looks like one of these like old school retro computer games. But he made it.
Zoe Quinn was running low on
That'd be
social
obviously
capital
with
that
a
she could
higher
use to
level of
print money
quality.
for herself. So she concocted this story that, due to the evidence at hand, is extremely suspect in order to catapult herself back into the spotlight. In the so doing, she showed a complete lack of caring what sort of damage she would cause or whose lives she would potentially destroy with her allegations. Except this time, it literally cost a life. Whether guilty or innocent, Alec Holowka was already in an unstable emotional state. This much has been acknowledged by his fellow developers, his sister, and even by Zoe Quinn herself. For a person that already felt the world was against him, what else is there? With an allegation such as that, it no longer matters if it is true or not. His ability to work in the industry was completely destroyed merely due to the possibility that it might be true.
The
Friends turning
possibility is
against
so
him,
crazy.
career destroyed. I don't agree with his decision, but I can see how a person in his position might come to that decision.
Yeah, me too.
And that is
Like
just
that's why I
one of the
said
many reasons
with that
why
one
cancel-
girl from that last video we were watching. I mean, not last video. It was one of the earlier videos we were watching yesterday, when she was crying about her friends and how she wasn't be able to talk to them anymore because of what because we're not the same people anymore, and all that crap with the whole thing. That type of person, like with that type of mindset, I can see her making a decision like that. You know what I mean? So it's crazy to me when people do this. Like, like you can tell when somebody's like fragile, like when their minds are really fragile. They're easily manipulated. They're easily they can easily flip into like depression and or sadness. And you going to try to ruin their life? Wow. Like that? Because she's lying. That we're saying, right? She's lying about the thing that happened. To him? Wow.
Culture is so dangerous and so damaging. It preys upon people's fears, yes, but even more dangerously than that, it preys upon people's desire to protect. People like Zoe Quinn weaponize that, deliberately so, in order to garner sympathy, professional opportunity, and personal wealth through the direct manipulation of those two aspects of people's psyche. All the while claiming that they themselves are the virtuous ones, that are nothing more than victims that bravely continue to fight for equality and justice. Well, we've seen the results of their particular brand of justice, and I, for one, want no part of it. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am Sid Alpha, and I'll see you next time.
Wow. Wow. That's sad. That really is. I truly hate when people do that. They just ruin people's lives. And somebody said, this guy that I watched, he said this thing. He said, I believe the people that accuse people like this, they should, and they're found lying, they should be put on a list. So we know who they are. So we can put like point a finger at somebody who was willing to lie to ruin somebody's life. And I'm like, yo, yeah. If I were to look this person up, one of the links would be they lied about being whatever. Well, that'd be great information to know. That'd be really good information to know. But yeah, guys, this would be for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed. I know it was a shorter stream. I started a lot later. There was some things going on, but I still, still was able to give you guys a little stream. Hopefully, tomorrow we can get a earlier one, or one that's more on time. Unless you guys like when I stream a little bit later. I don't know. It's up to you. What do you guys think about that? But yeah, it was fun, and I'm definitely going to have to play around with her a little bit more. I should have definitely did a lot of these off stream, because I feel like when I do the off stream, it just makes everything so much clearer. Good night. Yeah. Have a great night. Have a blessed one. Peace. Oyasumi. Oyasumi. I'm definitely gonna have to fix her. Make her better. Oyasumi. Oyasumi. Good night. Have a good one, May. Crazy, 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 crazy. crazy, crazy. Have a great